What's going on, you guys? So Errol Spence Jr. finally calls out Terence Crawford after 3-something years. Finally, what we've been asking for 3+ years finally happened last night. And as you can see on the screen, they had a few back and forth over social media. Errol Spence Jr. said, say less. They both had the handshake emojis. Hey, I think we got to fight, folks. Hit that like button for your boy. Hit that like button as you come on in. I know everybody was waiting to talk about this one. I've been seeing what the boxing world's been saying. The dark side, right? The other side of that fight we saw last night. I seen what people have been saying. And watching the fight live, right? I already knew this was going to happen. Wait till some more people get up here. Hit that like button for your boy. It begins, folks. The battle between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. Not only the battle between them, but the battle between the fans. It has already started on social media. I try to stay out of it, right? I try to stay out of it. The Spence Nation like to pull your boy in. They like to pull your boy in. This is going to be really fun, you guys. This is going to be a fun ride. I'll tell you that. Salute to everybody in the building. WJ Luckett, salute. Picasso, Kofi's Universe. Y'all go subscribe to Kofi Universe. Q the guy, what's going on? Y'all go to subscribe to the Lost Art of Boxing. Jose Diaz, what's good? D Young, Cerebral. Rudy B. Moore, what's going on? He says stop the cap. Oh, we going to talk about it. Damone Daniels, what's going on, bro? I'm going to send a link out in a little bit. UGC Flame, Baby Juju, what's good? Tyrese Bowie, what's going on? Nahub Ali, man, hey, what y'all think about that fight last night, man? Right? Now that everybody had time to rest and digest what we just seen last night, what do you guys think about the fight? What's going on, Butch, Ken, Martin Cassidy? I see you in the building. He said King Errol versus Lil Bud, 60-40. Oh, man, come on, Rudy, don't do it. Hey, I think we got to fight, though, you guys. Baby Juju says he's going out like Julius and Dongo. Man, we going to talk about it, man. I'm going to get my thoughts as well. But it's all just theory. You never truly know what's going to happen in boxing. Sometimes you get it right. Sometimes you get it wrong. Errol Spence Jr. on the outside, right? Came back, looked it phenomenal. Didn't have a scratch on him after the fight. Didn't have a scratch on him. Dennis Ugas didn't put up too much of an offense against Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr., it could either be two things. He was just too much for him, right? He was simply just too much for Dennis Ugas, or the other side that people are talking about. Some of those funny little moments in a fight that people are questioning, right? And I've seen these moments. And I scratched my head like, wait a minute, why? Why did you do that? Like, why didn't you follow up? Like, why didn't you press on the gas? You know, I've seen this shit before. We've seen fights before, similar to the Jake Paul when Tyron Woodley had him on the ropes, and he kind of, stepped like he was doing too much. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is what people are saying in the boxing community. And this is something that Spence fans will have to contend with for the next 6 months, probably till he faces Terence Crawford. It could be an illusion. It could be that Errol Spence Jr., what we saw, really what happened. He completely shut out your Dennis Ugas. He completely shut him out. That's what it looked like, right? He completely shut out your Dennis Ugas. Your Dennis Ugas had absolutely no answers for you, Errol Spence Jr. However, if you're looking at it from the other side, your Dennis Ugas really didn't put up much resistance in the fight. He didn't really fight back. He didn't really seem to fight back. And that's the thing that was really puzzling to me when I was watching the fight It's like, why ain't Ugas really fighting back? It's not like Errol Spence Jr. is giving him multiple angles. It's not like he's in and out. It's not like he's that much faster. I mean, he can't see, right? And of course, Ugas had a statement after the fight on social media. I'm gonna read it in a second. But when you that close to a guy, Errol Spence was right up on him. They was right up. You could feel him. You don't even gotta see him. You could feel him. He didn't throw nothing. And that was the strangest thing for me in the fight. Is that Ugas really just didn't put up no real offense. And considering what he's claimed that he was fighting for going into the fight, it looked like anything but after like the first round. He stopped throwing his right hand. There's a few things. I'm looking at Ugas right now. There's a few things I noticed. He stopped throwing his right hand. He completely just stopped throwing his right hand. It landed a few times when he was throwing it. Of course, Errol Spence blocked it a few times as well. But it was a really effective shot, and he really just stopped using it. And there was one instance where Spence was going to his left, and Ugas had the right hook was right there for him. He pulled it back. I know you guys seen that shit. He pulled that shit back. I'm wondering like why he just didn't let it go. He seemed to be really, really hesitant. Dennis Ugas. More hesitant than I ever seen him. I mean, he's a dog. I thought Ugas was going to thug it out. Ugas is a fighter that thugs it out. He didn't thug it out against Spence. Spence steamrolled dude. That could be a good thing for Spence, or this could be a bad thing for Spence. He may have some false confidence going into a guy like Crawford, who's not going to stand there and let him beat his ass like that. We know Terence Crawford is going to give Errol Spence many different looks. He's not going to be standing there in front of him with the high guard like a puncher bag. He's not going to pull a Joshua Clottey. He's not going to do that. Crawford's going to give him a whole bunch of different angles. It's going to be a whole different fight. There's a lot of different ways you could look at this. There's a lot of different ways you could look at it. Or you could just say Errol Spence Jr. came out there, defied all odds. He had a great comeback. He fought in front of his hometown. He did his damn thing, right? He completely shut out Ugas, who was on paper potentially could be his toughest fight to date, right? With the momentum that Ugas had going in, coming off a big win against Pacquiao. He rose from the ashes, Cuban fighter, well-schooled, and Errol Spence Jr. simply ran up in there and bulldozed Dennis Ugas. There's a lot of different ways you can look at it. And I've been seeing everything that fans been saying about this fight. I've been seeing everything fans been saying about the fight. I tell you this, though. The Errol Spence and Terence Crawford actual matchup is extremely interesting. Based off just this performance, even though it's hard for me to take a lot away from it because Ugas really didn't show too much. He didn't really fight back. So it's really hard for me to say. But Errol Spence Jr., his work rate was great. His conditioning looked to be on top, on par, right? Everything he was checking all the boxes. Very consistent, a lot of pressure, a lot of just everything, right? He didn't really give Ugas a chance to try to do too much of anything, but Ugas still, he had a chance to do something. He chose to do nothing. We've seen fighters fight like they had their heart on, like they had their life on the line. We've seen it many times before. Ugas didn't fight like that last night. And I was expecting Ugas to show that in this fight with Errol Spence Jr. He didn't show it at all. He was just, it's almost like Errol Spence was either just too much for him. And basically what he says on his statement after the fight, let me see. Because I don't think he really gave an official post-fight reaction. Post-fight interview. I don't think he really did that. So, let me see. Here we go. Here we go. Here go. Dennis Ugas. This is what he said after the fight. He says, first of all, I want to apologize for not coming to thank everyone who supported me in person after the fight. I have a fracture in my eye, and in the next few days, the doctors will say how they will treat it. Last night, I spent all morning in the hospital. I write these words with only one eye. The other eye is still closed, but very important for me to write it for you. Love. I want to thank my family and my team and every person who was supporting me. I want to congratulate Errol Spence, a great champ, and sharing the ring with him was an honor. He came, as always, sharp, and in the last rounds, he hit me in the eye, and everything was even more difficult. The best man on top won from the ring. We have come this far by taking our wins and our losses with humility. I am sad, but at peace, come back from the dark. And already at this point, I fought amateur Crawford, Porter, Pacquiao, Spence, some of the best fighters in history, and future Hall of Famers. I am proud of what I'm doing in and out of the ring. I have won millions of hearts. With the favor of God, there are great days to come. We will recover and come back stronger. Thank you all. Love. Dennis Ugas, end quote. That's what Dennis Ugas had to say, you guys. After his defeat to Errol Spence Jr. He said after that certain round, it just became difficult for him. It just became difficult for him. And Errol Spence Jr. was simply just too much for him. You know what I'm saying? That's what Dennis Ugas has to say. Humble as always, right? The most humblest fighter in boxing. Hit that like button for your boy. Let's see what the comments saying. Century Picture says he was ashamed and he should be. Oh man. Now Ugas not trash, and none of that, right? Ugas not trash. We're not gonna do any of that. But Ugas, one thing I did notice, he just didn't really put up much offense. He didn't really try to fight. He didn't fight like it was his last shot, because essentially this was his last shot. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't fight like he really wanted it. He didn't. He sat there and took a beating by Errol Spence Jr. for the majority of that fight. He didn't fight back, even in moments when Errol Spence was off balance in front of him. He just kind of didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing, bro. He sat there and got mollywopped. Didn't put up no offense in the fight. That's my biggest gripe with it, that he didn't really fight back. Now you got people saying it was a fixed fight, right? You got people saying he was on a take. You got people saying it was hometown cooking. You got a lot of people saying a lot of things about this fight. But one thing I know for sure is that Dennis Ugas didn't thug it out like I thought he was going to thug it out. That's for damn sure. We seen Dennis Ugas thug it out in all his fights. He's been thugging it out. He didn't thug it out against Errol though. Yeah, it seemed like he had a pretty good solid first round. Then after that, he just kind of, really didn't do nothing. Just didn't do nothing. But Errol Spence Jr. calls out Terence Crawford, right?
Next. I want Terence Crawford next.
Wow, look at him.
Make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps and I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
Right.
Stop the...
Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight.
Thank you. Man down. Strap season.
Hey. He coming for that motherfucking belt, man. I told you guys, if he beat Ugas in an impressive fashion, he was going to have the confidence needed to call out Crawford. That was really hard for him, but he did it. You know what I'm saying? That was really hard for him, but he was able to do it. Salute to Errol Spence Jr. for having to, for finally, after all these years, we've been wanting him to do this, and he finally did it.
Congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you. Man down. Strap season. I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
Ooh, he even said his name and everything, too. Oh, shit. He said the Candyman's name for the 5th time, y'all. Oh, snaps. Y'all hit that like button for your boy, man. Errol Spence Jr., he's lit. Errol Spence Jr. is lit, bro. He said he coming for that motherfucking belt. He said Terence Crawford. I mean, he checking boxes left and right, man. Errol Spence Jr. is finally acting right. Errol Spence Jr. is finally acting right. He's finally acting right, y'all. This is what we've been wanting for Errol Spence Jr. to act right. And he's finally acting right. All that A side, B side, all this other bullshit they was talking about all this time. Look at what he's. I mean, this thing is gonna happen. This fight has to happen. Isaac Pitbull Cruz put on a show last night. What about them Charlos though, man? Real quick, them Charlos. What's up with them Charlos on set, drunk as hell and shit, man? What's up with your boy the Charlos, man? What's up with the Charlos? What's up with Jamel coming out saying, well, he ain't did nothing at 154? Remember that? Come on, bro. What's up with these dudes, bro? What's up with these dudes, man? They was on set drunk as hell, embarrassed the platform. You know what I'm saying? Embarrassed the shit out of the platform, drunk as fuck. Microphones not in front. Man, just totally embarrassing. I was embarrassed watching that shit, bro. Like, why would they invite them clowns up there like that? They could have invited somebody else. They saw them dudes on the influence, all hype and fucking erratic. Y'all need to sit y'all asses down somewhere and drink some fucking water or something. Y'all not about to embarrass the platform like that, looking like some clowns. Charles looked like some fucking clowns last night. They're like some fucking clowns. You said you was in section 150 and wait, hold up. He says, Boomer says, I was in section 150 and motherfuckers was born in Charles. Of course, bro. Of course, bro. People don't like, man, come on, man. Look at, man, them dudes, man. Come on, dog. Jamel doing right by boxing at least. But come on, man. What's going on, Dennis Sims? Very dismissive of Crawford. We heard that shit before. Of course, Crawford got to deal with Spence now anyway, but Jamel doesn't want to fight him anyway. Jamel don't want to fight Terence Crawford. He don't want to fight the dude. And if Terence Crawford manhandles Errol Spence, right? Because Errol Spence really didn't show that he was stronger than Ugas. One thing Ugas did do in the fight, he kept pushing him back a lot. He was pushing him. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really fight Errol Spence on the inside. Errol Spence was right there. Errol Spence is a really physical fighter. He's there to be hit. You know what I'm saying? Especially when Spence is fighting like that. He didn't do nothing. He was just pushing him back. Errol Spence really couldn't push him back. Will Errol Spence be able to move Crawford back? Of course, Crawford won't be standing there taking shots and shit. But I wager Crawford will try to test his strength in the fight. I wager Crawford will try to test Errol Spence's strength. I think there's going to be a moment in that fight where they kind of wrestling with each other, and Crawford's going to test that shit. Crawford probably go pick his ass up and walk him too. That's what I'm going to want to see. I'm going to want to see who going to win a strength battle as well. Who going to be stronger and who going to be moving who back. We're going to know it's going to be a clinch moment, and they go see who's stronger. And we seen what Bud did to Porter. He picked him up and walked him. Like, come on. We seen what Bud did to Jeff Horn. He picked him up and walked him. Come on. Will he do the same thing to Errol Spence? Probably. He go pick him up and walk him. Come on. Errol Spence fans think he's going to go up in there and just mollywop and run through Terence Crawford. I don't think that's going to happen, you guys. I don't think it's going to happen like that. Errol Spence was lit as fuck. He was lit with the AB shorts on. You know what I'm saying? Swagged out with the OnlyFans and shit. He put on the show. He put on the show. You know what I'm saying? But when we get Crawford, it's gonna be a whole different fight. Hit that like button for your boy. You said Errol go wear Crawford down in the stretch? Nah, I don't think so. I ain't never seen it. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a good fight though. It's gonna be really, really interesting fight to see who's gonna be able to wear down who's gonna be able to hurt who's gonna be stronger than who. It's gonna be a whole bunch of questions we've been talking about for 3+ years. Are gonna be answered. It's gonna be a lot of questions answered when these two dudes finally meet up. You know, Crawford responds immediately after the fight, saying, "Keep them belts warm for me." Spence said he's coming for the last one. I mean, come on, man. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been for. About time, Errol. God damn it. About damn time. This is what we've been waiting for, bro. This is what we've been waiting for. You got past Dennis Ugas. You know, a lot of people say it was controversial, but you got past Dennis Ugas cleanly, smoothly, and with little damage taken. Errol Spence Jr. looked phenomenal against Dennis Ugas on the outside, but when you take the red pill and you go down that little dark hallway, you start to see different things, you know. But we gonna stay on the blue side. Errol Spence Jr. got the job done. Now we're going to this big fight with Terence Bud Crawford. I like what Errol Spence is doing. I like what he's saying. This is what we've been waiting for. Finally, you giving us the energy that we wanted. This is all I've been asking for, Spence Nation. right here from your guy. This is all I've been wanting right here. The energy. You know, show us that you want to fight this dude, bro. You act like you didn't want to fight him for 3 fucking years. They started calling you duck and all types of shit. You know what I'm saying? You waited that long. But it's going down. You know what I'm saying? It's going down. There's no doubt in my mind this fight's definitely gonna happen. There's no way it's not gonna happen. There's no way it's not gonna happen. No way it's not gonna happen. You said Drizzy KO salute, bro. He said you still want to see Bud fight somebody in June. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if that's gonna happen, bro. Like just based off of how everything's been going, it just don't seem like that's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? You never know what's gonna happen. You know, Bud haven't really came out and said too much of anything lately. But yeah, I mean, we don't know. You know, should Crawford just go ahead go for another fight real quick, or should he just sit out and build this fight with Errol Spence, man? Give us what we want. You know what I'm saying? Should he just do that? It really don't matter to me at this point, as long as we get the Errol Spence fight later on in November. Now I'm here in November. That's what I'm hearing. Y'all also I heard that Floyd Mayweather said that he can get Crawford the fight that he wants or some shit like that. Floyd came out and said some shit. So yeah. You said who should Ugas fight next? Keith Thurman. Ugas and Keith Thurman should fight. Ugas and Keith Thurman should fight next. I mean, he could fight in November. I mean, he could fight in June, but I'm hearing that the Spence Crawford fight likely is going to be in November. That's just what I'm hearing in the fall. So, I mean, if he wants to fight in June, cool. Go beat up on Keith Thurman real quick. Keith Thurman or Danny, go fight one of them. You know, if that 2-fight deal thing is a real thing, fight one of those two guys and then go fight Errol Spence Jr. And then fight will be even bigger because Crawford be fighting on that platform. They'll be really promoting the fight and get this show on the road. He already beat Brooke, bro. Keith said there's no dogs in Cuba. That's what Keith said? Oh, wow. I mean, Ugas didn't show no dog, bro. I would imagine a lot of those Cubans are pretty upset. Deep down, they're pretty upset because he didn't fight like he didn't fight like he had his heart, the heart of Cuba in him, bro. He didn't fight like that. He literally sat there and stood still and let Errol Spence beat his ass, bro. Errol Spence totally had his way with dude. So that's why it's really hard for me to really say, it's hard for me to take away anything from that fight other than Errol Spence Jr., his consistent work rate. And he was hitting on a punch bag. So it's really hard for me to take away because Ugas, in the moments that he could have did something or should have did something, he didn't do nothing. So, yeah. Oh, in the golden moment when Spence's mouthpiece came out, that was almost like seeing a unicorn, right? That was literally like seeing a fucking unicorn. Nobody that Errol Spence been with have had that situation except for the Hartley guy, and that happened at the end of the round, right? But that happened, and Yordenis Ugas literally sat there and just froze up like he saw a ghost. Like, oh shit, did this just happen? He was enamored by the mystique of Errol Spence Jr., bro. Now, if that was Terence Crawford that knocked this dude's mouthpiece out, Bud likely would have followed up with some shit until the referee had to, jump in and do what he had to do. But Yordenis Ugas had the golden moment, a once-in-a-lifetime type of opportunity in a fight with Errol Spence Jr. that nobody else has had him reeling back, mouthpiece out. He could have really capitalized and really did some damage and really changed the course of that fight, and he didn't do nothing. Yordenis Ugas lost that killer edge, y'all. He lost the killer instinct, bro. And it's cool. It's okay. It's fine. It happens. He lost the killer edge to go out there and really punch through Errol Spence Jr. Yordenis Ugas is such a fucking nice guy that he probably thought all in that second, everything this guy been through, you know what I'm saying? He saw that moment. He froze up. Now, if that was any other fighter that didn't give a fuck about Errol Spence or any of his shit, they probably would have capitalized on that moment but kind of had him out of the ring. right? It really should have been counted as a knockdown because the ropes held him up, but he didn't follow up. Why? Why did he stand there? It looked similar to Tyron Woodley and Jake Paul. When Woodley hit Jake Paul, he was like, oh shit, and Jake Paul was reeling on the ropes and he kind of just stopped. It looked just like that, bro. Get mad if you want to. That's what it looked like. You then, as Ugas saw a fucking unicorn and he didn't go grab it. You know what I'm saying? He sat there and the referee did what he did. It got confusing after that. I got confused. I got confused. You just don't stop in the middle of the action, Errol. You lucky you was in there with a nice guy. Right? It was a rookie mistake. Don't make that same mistake against Kumite Crawford, bro. Terence Crawford, he's a honey badger. He's coming for the kill. He ain't playing no games. He smells blood, it's over with. Ugas smelled blood, he just froze up. Q the God says, when Errol got his mouthpiece back, Ugas put his hands in his pockets. Bro. You ain't gotta, I ain't gotta even say it, bro. But that's what it looked like, right? It looked like Ugas put his hands in his pocket. It looked like he left his right hand in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what it looked like. Get mad if you want to, but that's what it looked like. It looked like Ugas just didn't really just stop fighting. After that moment, and I think it was a couple of sweeping right hands I saw. It seemed like he just kind of was really hesitant on really punching through Spence, on really just showing the thug to go out there and get it done in Dallas. Didn't show it. He just sat there and took a beating. Like, why sit there and take a beating? Fight back. He's right in front of you. Fight back. It's not like he's Shakur where he's like, you can't hit him with confetti. It's not like he's like TBE Mayweather where you can't hit him with confetti. No, you could hit Spence. He didn't do it. He sat there and let Spence beat the shit out of him. Spence hit him with everything Spence had in the gas in his arsenal. Every punch Spence knows, he threw it. And it landed. Like 40-some% of his power shots. Beat the brakes off of him. Didn't even fight back. Show no will to fight back. Just sit out there and let dude beat up on you, bro. Ugas lost that killer edge somewhere down the line, folks. He lost that killer edge, bro. You don't sit there and let somebody just beat up on you like that. When you fighting for your country, you fought with a torn bicep. And you fought your ass off against Pacquiao. But when I look at this fight, yeah, you had a bad eye, but it's not like Spence was bouncing around, teleporting around the ring like a Dragon Ball character. No, he was right there in front of you. You didn't do nothing. You didn't even have to see him. You could just feel him. You didn't do nothing. Ugas didn't do nothing. So it's hard for me to say going into a fight with Crawford that Spence is just going to knock out Terence Crawford. Nah, that's going to be a totally different fight. In them unicorn-like moments, Crawford will capitalize. When he smells blood, he will capitalize. He's not going to stand in front of him with the high guard up. He's going to show his dominance. He's way more competitive than Ugas. Didn't show no competitive spirit, man. If I'm disappointed about anything, is in Ugas that he just didn't put up a good effort. It don't matter if he put up his best effort and lost, but he didn't fight back. He sat there and just kind of essentially gave up, almost similar to Colbert, in my opinion. Just didn't really fight back. He didn't walk away or turn his back on no shit like that, but no desire for such a big fight. No real desire for such a big fight. I could see if he was fighting back and Spence was just piecing him up. Pop, 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 pop. But at least he's still giving it his all. Fighting is giving it. He didn't do nothing. That's probably why Ugas is so down. That's probably why he's so sad, because he know deep down he didn't give it his all. And he go look at it, that's gonna kill him. Hopefully that word don't get me demonetized. That's gonna be eating him up. Yeah, he didn't give it his all when he knew he could have gave it his all. I felt that Ugas could have did a little bit more in that fight. It's not like he was the guy that was totally out, physically out, Spence was physically more dominant or anything like that. No. He was pushing Spence back. Spence couldn't really move him back. But he was there to be hit like a punching bag, and he didn't really put up no offense except for the Joshua Clottey. He did the Joshua Clottey, just put the high guard up to the point where Spence eventually was starting to break through that high guard, and those punches was really starting to have an effect on him. Eventually, his eyes swell up, and then we saw what happened after that. But like you, the guy said, when that unicorn moment happened, when Ugas knocked his mouthpiece out, and then that little strange moment happened, yeah, it looked like Ugas put his hands in his fucking pockets after that. It looked like Ugas put his hands in his pocket after that, man. Picasso says he thinks Pacquiao would have put up a better fight. Yeah, man, I think so. I just expect him to fight back. He didn't fight back, bro. Like, what would you didn't fight back, you Dennis. So it's gonna be hard for me to truly gauge. It's gonna be hard for me to truly gauge how to match up Spence with Crawford. But he looked good on a human heavy bag. I tell you that. He didn't break a sweat. He wasn't tired. He got hit a few times. He handled it well. He seemed like he was having fun in there. You know what I'm saying? It seemed like Spence was having fun in there. Ugas hit him with one good shot. He looked at him. He was smiling at him. He was still coming for him. Errol Spence was having fun up in there. You know what I'm saying? Really, it was supposed to be a championship fight, but really it was a showcase fight. Really, it was a showcase fight. That's what it was last night. It was a showcase fight. It was supposed to be a championship fight. It was supposed to be really competitive, but Errol Spence, it turned into a showcase fight. It turned into a showcase. Look at him. He lit. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence Jr. lit. He finally calls out Terence Crawford after years and years and years of us wanting him to really just give us something to help promote the fight, to help build the fight. Man, I ain't trying to hear that. I'm talking about the harsh realities, man. Hey, if you don't like it, that's just what it is. I'm telling you that Ugas didn't fight enough. I'm not taking nothing away from Errol Spence. Ugas didn't fight. He just didn't fight. I've been seeing people criticize Crawford every fucking move for years. Oh, no, don't criticize Errol Spence. Oh, no, you can't do that to Lord Thou Savior. Nah, you can't do that to him, bro. Nah, we do it to everybody over here, bro. I ain't taking away nothing when Errol Spence did phenomenal. He surprised me. He went out there and fucking dominated Yordenis Ugas. However, Yordenis Ugas didn't seem to have that killer edge needed to go through with a fight like this. He didn't seem like he wanted to be there. He didn't want to fight. Errol Spence made a lot of mistakes early on. Was whiffing a lot of shots. What I mean by whiffing is when you throw a punch and you miss wide. He was whiffing. And imagine if Crawford, he was whiffing against a guy like Crawford, man, who really capitalizes on your mistakes. Ugas didn't capitalize on Spence's mistakes. Imagine Crawford. Let's talk about the fight. It's early, but we could talk about it now. Based off of what we've seen from Errol Spence Jr., we finally get to see Spence after all these years, and he looked better in this fight than he did against Danny. But he made some mistakes in this fight that I feel that Crawford will capitalize on like no tomorrow. Capitalize on. Errol Spence was constant pressure. Constant. Salute to Candy Slim for the super chat. He says it was Errol's plan, but they didn't say when. Thurman didn't fight EJ, and EJ didn't have a belt. Yeah, I know. But I mean, shit. I think the Crawford Spence fight is going to happen now. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to happen. But Spence fans, I've been seeing a lot of comments. Crawford's gonna get knocked out. Crawford's scared. The big fish is back. All this stuff, man. It's like, man, where was this at before, bro? Where was this at like 6-7 months ago when like, oh, 60-40, oh, he deserved to fight. He ain't did nothing. Like, where was this at then, man? Don't start talking shit now when we finally turn our backs and walk away. Don't start talking shit now. Don't come out now. That's what it looks like. But it's cool. We'll turn back around. We'll turn back around. You really want to smoke for real, Errol? We'll turn right back around. Because it's going down. It's going to be a totally different fight with Crawford, though, I think. I don't suggest Crawford stand there and go toe-to-toe with Errol Spence. I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend it. I recommend Crawford use every tool in his arsenal. Use every tool in his arsenal, give Errol Spence many different looks. And for Errol Spence, shit. I will say keep the pressure on him. Work the body. Force Crawford into a fight. Force him to fight you. Because Crawford's very competitive. And he ain't going to like you beating him at anything. And that's probably one of Crawford's biggest weaknesses is his over-competitiveness. If Errol Spence can do something in the fight to make it to where Crawford feels like he has to challenge it, and Errol Spence is better in that area, that's Spence's biggest advantage in that fight. Otherwise, stylistically, Crawford is a pretty bad matchup. I don't suggest him stand there and go blow for blow with Spence like Ugas did. That was ridiculous. But he's a very dynamic fighter, heavy hands. He has killer instincts. He has really good instincts, really good fighting instincts. That's going to be a really good fight. This will be a really good fight. Because Crawford, he's not going to stand there and just take a beating like Dennis Ugas did. He's not going to do that. That's not about to happen at all. Crawford is not about to stand there and just get beat up on. That's not how Bud gets down. You know what I'm saying? You hit him with some shit, he gonna find a way to get you right back. You know what I'm saying? You ain't about to just do him like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a totally different fight. I can't wait to see it. His Grace says Ugas laid down for whatever reason. He had great success early on. It wasn't Spence making adjustments. It was Ugas who stopped throwing for whatever reason. Let me see. This is what the people saying. I don't even gotta say it. But we all know what we saw. Some of us will be honest and be like, yeah, man, it looked like he just stopped throwing punches. Others be like, oh, man, don't say that. Nah, the big fish. Yeah. So there's two different fans and shit. A fan like me will tell you exactly what I saw. I saw Dennis Ugas had a little success early on. I saw Errol Spence start to turn it on. But I seen Dennis Ugas just seemed to lose the passion somewhere in the fight. Like he just he just stopped throwing punches. He stopped fighting. He knew he was down. He knew he was down and out. He had one eye. His trainer was really weird in the corner saying, yeah, you feeling good? You feeling great? Like, no, bro, you losing this fight. What the fuck is going on, bro? Y'all getting your asses beat. It's very weird. You said watch Bud go after. Well, Lenard time he said watch Bud go after Errol's leftovers in Ugas. Why would he do that? See, it's about damn time Errol Spence had the fucking balls to call this dude out. It took him fucking 3 years to say this dude's name in public. I ain't trying to hear shit. It took him 3 years to call out Terence Crawford's name in public, bro. That was an awkward situation for him to call him out, too. You tell he didn't even feel right saying it. But he put up his best poker face and he got it done. So salute to him. We go give him that. You finally called out Kumite Crawford. We've been waiting for it. This is what I've been waiting for. Hit that like button for your boy, man. We got 131 people up in here, man. Hit the like button, man. What's going on? I'm going to drop the link in a second. Get you guys' thoughts on this fight, man. Get you guys' thoughts on this fight, man. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford is going down. The big fish stops Dennis Ugas. The big fish stops Dennis Ugas. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. He looked good, though. He wasn't tired. Any of that shit. Any of that. He wasn't tired. He didn't break a sweat. Errol Spence Jr., his work rate was, actually this fight, the performance was better than Danny Garcia's. I thought he looked good in the Danny fight considering where he was coming from. But I thought he looked even better in this fight. His work rate, he was just really just active. I mean, but then again, Ugas didn't amount to no real offense. At least with Danny, he had to worry about Danny's heavy hands. You know, Danny magically whip out a left hook on you. So he had to be weary of that. But with Ugas, Spence didn't have to worry about nothing. Spence put up an absolute clinic, absolute showcase fight for the big fish. An absolute showcase fight for the big fish. A really good segue into the Crawford fight. This performance, really perfect segue into a Crawford fight. I mean, it would be kind of wild for them to have Crawford fight somebody in September so they can kind of build Crawford a little bit going into this fall. Or whenever they go have a fight. I'm assuming it's going to happen this year, though. I'm assuming it's going to happen this year. Good job, Spence. Good job. Salute to Mr. That NY Kid. He says, if it was fixed, Ugas wouldn't take that much punishment. He has a broken orbital, broken nose, and broken ribs. So he had broken ribs and shit too? Man, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't know what was going on in that fight. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I can see how people could say it was fixed because Ugas just didn't really seem to fight back. But I can also see how Spence could possibly just been too much for dude. I don't know, man. It's hard to say because Yordenis Ugas, when he fought Pacquiao, 11 days notice. 11 fucking days notice. 11 days notice. Nobody was giving him a chance. Had a torn bicep going into that fight. He fought like it was his last fucking ditch effort. He fought like he's about to get shipped back. Right? Like if he didn't win, had to go right back to Cuba. You know what I'm saying? That's how he was fighting that fight. But in this fight, nah, I didn't see that same killer. I didn't see that same dog. I didn't see it. I didn't see it. So that's why it's gonna be kind of hard for me to really truly gauge. Let's not just go off of what Errol Spence did in the fight. He looked good, man. And I don't suggest Crawford to go toe-to-toe with him. I don't suggest Crawford to stand there and let Errol Spence fight his best fight. Ugas enabled Errol Spence Jr. to fight his best type of fight. Errol Spence Jr. didn't even have to jab him to the ropes. Nah, Ugas stood right there and let him do it. Shit, his back was magically against the ropes in the middle of the ring. Spence put up an absolute show against this dude. But will he be able to do that against Bud Crawford? You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's going to hit you with some shit. Somebody that's going to hit you with something. Something that you ain't going to see either. Salute to Rice Eater 79 for the super chat. He says that pressure pressure stuff work real well for Porter and Horn. I mean, it didn't work for them, and those are pressure fighters. Horn and Sean Porter, they are pressure guys, pretty wild, reckless. It didn't work at all for them. Actually, Crawford showed that he was stronger than them dudes. He picked them both up and walked them. It's just pretty crazy. I can't wait to see this fight between him and Spence. I don't think Spence is stronger than him, but I'm not sure if Crawford could sit there and take a beating from Spence like Ugas did either. Like just sit there taking a beating. I just don't see that from Crawford. And I also don't suggest Crawford take any shots from Spence neither. You got to be careful about things like your eye getting swollen, right? You got to be careful about that. Stuff like that at the end of fight. End your night. It's going to be a really good fight, man. You know what I'm saying? Between Crawford and Spence. It's the fight that we've been waiting for. It's the fight we've been looking for. It's a fight that boxing needs. I got Crawford winning the fight. possibly stopping Errol Spence. Why? Because that's what he do. And he's shown it on a consistent basis. No matter how big you are, long, strong, he's getting you up out of there. You make one mistake, he's getting you up out of there. He smells blood, he's getting you up out of there. But Errol Spence could be more durable enough to deal with Terence Crawford. He could be. And if he also could have an excellent recovery. Errol Spence seems like he has excellent recovery. He's a tough Texas fighter, man. He seemed like he has excellent recovery. But if he was making the same mistakes, some of the same mistakes that he was doing against Ugas, against Crawford, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty ugly night for him. All that leaning forward, all them missing them wide shots. He's gonna have to really fight Crawford in a more intelligent approach. He got his feet wet with Ugas, got his gears going, got his confidence back up. But in Crawford, it's gonna be a totally different fight. Crawford is faster than Ugas. He has a better IQ than Ugas. He has better killing instinct than Ugas. He's probably stronger than Ugas. Longer reach than Ugas. Yeah. Totally different fight. Totally different fight. Ugas was blocking a lot of the body shots in the fight. You know what I'm saying? He had them long arms the way he can keep that guard up to block those body shots. True Getter says Ugas laid down. Dang, man. Yeah, a lot of people just kind of questioning the legitimacy of the fight, man. You know what I'm saying? And I expected it. I knew that was going to happen watching it live. I knew that was going to happen, bro. I knew that's what fans was going to say. I knew people was going to say, yep, because it looked like he just really didn't thug it out. He didn't thug it out. You said what's going on with that weird dip and stuff. I'm not sure what Spence does that little dip. That's what I said. If he does that against Crawford, man, Crawford will capitalize on that shit. Crawford is a more accurate puncher than Ugas too. Crawford is more Crawford is a totally different fight. Not to say Crawford just going there and do anything he wants with Errol Spence, but he's a way more dynamic fighter. Way more dynamic. And he can switch hit. And he's not about to just stand still in the ring and give you one look. Ugas didn't get Spence no different looks. He didn't do nothing. He didn't give him no different looks. Easy work, man. It could give Spence a false sense of confidence going into a fight with Crawford because of that. Because Ugas didn't really give him nothing. So he'll go up in Crawford thinking, I beat the shit out of Ugas. Yeah. Go up in there in Crawford, and Crawford like, oh shit. He look up and he's looking up at the fucking Raptors and shit. And it's the third round. He's looking up. He got knocked out. That's what happened. Bud can't go up in there overconfident against him either, though. I don't think he's stupid. Errol Spence got a really good gas tank on him. He can go. That dude can go. It's gonna be a fight too. Crawford gonna fight his ass back. He gonna fight his ass back. It's gonna be moments in the fight where they just in the ring slugging it out. Watch. I can see it now. They gonna be up in there thugging it out. I don't recommend either guy do that for too long. But I can see it happening. Somebody up in there thugging it out, testing each other's chin. Who's gonna fall first? I ain't say Bud was Superman, but if anything, Crawford's been extremely consistent in stopping the opposition. He ain't got to be Superman. He showed a lot of consistency over the years, and he's been on the pound for pound list longer than any active fighter, bro. I mean, we not talking like Crawford just some upstart getting unwarranted hype. Crawford's been around for a long fucking time. Look at some of the guys that was prominent. Remember back in the day, if you guys been in boxing, it was a thing where Crawford versus Broner. Remember that? Back when Broner was at the top of his game. That was a big fight that people was talking about potentially seeing down the line. Look at where AB is today. Look where Crawford is today. Look at where a lot of guys that was coming up with Crawford. Look at where they at today. Look where he's at today. It's totally different, bro. He's showing that he's showing that he's throwback as one of the real ones in the sport, bro. As consistent as a fighter since what? Floyd Mayweather? Just consistent. And now we about to see him up in there with the big fucking fish. He stopped Sean Porter. He stopped Kell Brook. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Errol Spence did his thing against Ugas, but unfortunately now there's kind of a little question about how the legitimacy of the fight, bro. That's just what it is. We talk about it over here. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying anything, but we talking about it. This is what people is talking about. A lot of people say the fight was fixed. A lot of people saying Ugas ain't did nothing. I mean, I see Ugas ain't did nothing. I'm not saying it was fixed, but I see Ugas, he just didn't show that passion. Salute to David McLeod for the super chat. He says, we the fans make horrible promoters. Crawford Spence 3 years ago pitched two fighters against best money. It's Crawford Spence for Undisputed. Well, yeah, it's Crawford Spence for Undisputed now, yeah. But it's us fans that's been promoting this fight for like the past 3 years. It's us fans on YouTube, stuff like that, that's been promoting that fight. Keeping it alive, talking about it. You said, let's get Derrick James. Derrick James is a great coach, man. Even though he be pissing me off with some of the shit he be saying, I like his pad work. Derrick James is a good ass coach, man. His fighters be getting the job done. And I like his pad work too. I like the way he holds the mitts. It seems effective rather than just show and flashiness and playing around and shit. It seemed like some real pad work. I just don't like when he put on his business suit and his manager suit. That's what I don't like. But when he's a coach, hey, he gets the job done. And he's a younger coach too. But I'm excited. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this potential fight between Crawford and Spence, man. This is likely to go down finally after all this time. I guess good thing comes to those who wait, man. We waited a long fucking time, too. Waited a long time for Errol Spence to give us what we wanted. This is what we wanted. They wanted Crawford to do it for a while. Crawford finally did it. But now we finally got Spence to do it. Sonny Sheba says, I don't know if Ugas got paid off, but we do know they paid Stanionis off to step aside. Yep, it's going to be a lot of conspiracies, man. There's going to be a lot of conspiracies on this thing. You know, they wanted to make sure Spence got through this fight perfectly. Let's look at the red side. Make sure Spence got through this fight with no problems. With no problems to go into the big fight with Terence Crawford. The big money fight for boxing. Let's be honest. Ugas beating Spence would have been bad for business. Okay? Ugas beating Errol Spence, that's the black pill for your ass. Ugas beating Errol Spence would have been bad for business, bad for boxing. Despite what hardcore fans may think about they know about Ugas fighting Crawford amateurs, it would have been bad for business if this guy beat Errol Spence in Dallas. It would have been terrible for business. What's going on, LT?
Man, nothing much. What's going on with you, Bushido? Man, you got to eat a lot of crow. You got to eat a lot of crow.
Man. Hey, hold on. Let me read the super chat real quick. Salute to Rahman Saladuman for the super chat. He says the ref effed up. Ugas hurt Spence, then knocked his mouthpiece out in the middle of the action. he yelled, "Stop." Ugas was already committed and hit Spence again. Spence fell into the ropes. It should have been a ruled a knockdown. Wow. What do you guys say to that, LG?
Okay, in response to that, see this. Just break that down. If you could just give me the floor real quick.
Go
First
ahead,
of all, when
lawyer Lanar.
hold on, man, Demonis, let me get it. I can't
I'm
because
just saluting you, my guy. That's it. I'm just saluting you, guy. I ain't arguing nothing. I'm just saluting
Oh,
you,
okay,
bro.
okay, yeah. I just gotta get it off because
Relax.
yeah. I know, 'cause I gotta get it out because guys always cutting me off. But what I was saying is um so break it down this comment real quick. First of all, in a boxing match at any advanced level, as soon as a mouthpiece comes out, the action's supposed to stop, and the ref is supposed to take the fighter to the corner. Supposed to wash the mouthpiece out and it goes right back in his mouth. So that's already so. What Ugas did, even though I love Ugas, he was very unprofessional hitting Spence, knowing that his mouthpiece was down. And number two, the ref did yell stop, and Ugas still committed to throw a punch. So if you're being technical, he can actually get a point deducted for that. So that was very unsportsmanship like conduct because Earl's looking down and Ugas caught him with a good shot. So it wasn't like Ugas caught Earl with a shot like in the boxing match where they both were on their toes and on a piece of cues. No, he was looking down completely away, and that's a testament to Errol Spence's chin because he took a shot he did not see coming flush, and he was able to recover quickly. So that's a testament to him to be able to do something like that. But with that being said, now breaking down this fight,
Salute, y'all.
it's what's going on? It was a good fight. And just to show y'all something, I rate this performance by Errol Spence an A-. This was not the best Errol Spence. There's even a better Errol Spence to come in his next fight. And the reason why I say that is because when you look at Errol Spence, I'm gonna get on the stuff he did wrong and the stuff he did good. First of all, he was probably the slowest I've ever seen him, as well as he was winging a lot of his shots, so he was throwing himself off balance. He was lunging in. He was lunging in a little bit.
Yeah, it's time.
He was munching in a little bit because he was desperate for the knockout, and that this is probably the most defensively irresponsible I've ever seen Spence. But there's some reasons to that because of the ring rust and him trying to desperately get a knockout, and that's what happens. Now, when it comes to the stuff him doing good, and his balance was a bit off a little bit, but still better than the Downey fight. Now, as far as Errol Spence and what he did well. He was able to outbox Ugas on the inside. He made an adjustment as soon as he saw Ugas parrying a lot of his punches. What Errol Spence did was just made an adjustment and made it an inside fight. So he said, you know what, I have more success on the inside than I have doing the outside, even though he still was winning on the outside, but he made it much easier for himself when he went on the inside. So I commend Earl for that. And there's no excuses now. I want the Spence versus Crawford fight next. And I want to give Derek James his flowers because he is the best trainer in boxing. And that really may be the difference when Errol and Crawford fight, just because the level of a trainer. I mean, you saw Derek James in the corner telling him what to do. And when Errol did it, it was having success. I've watched many boxing matches. And when it comes to Derek James has to be up there when it comes to making an adjustment, watching a fight, analyzing it, and making a game plan to neutralize somebody. He's great at that. So with that being said, I'm going to give up the floor. And all you Bud fans are going to eat your crow because Errol Spence is going to beat Terence Bud Crawford. I say my piece.
Man, I mean, it was a great fight last night, y'all. I'm gonna just go ahead.
He ain't being fucking Bud Crawford. He does that fucking rookie mistake, boy. He makes that mistake. He's done.
Whoa. Nah, man. Just to back up what Lenore said, man. I definitely gave Errol Spence A-, B+. Coming off that long layoff.
He breaking up.
Yeah, man. It's that Obama phone, man. You got them.
Oh,
Obama
shit. Let
phones.
me read the super chats real quick. My bad. True Getter says, Bushido, I called out Ugas taking a dive on the E-Thriller compost. I said Ugas is going to give Spence a run for the money, then take dive rounds 10 through 12. Facts. Wow. So you called it, huh? Then the referee moved for the super chat. He says the referee will call time and have the mouthpiece replaced at the first opportune moment without interfering with the immediate action. And that's from Rama. Salute for the super chat. He said the referee called time. Yeah.
So
I
just want to address
moment in that fight, bro.
What up, Shido?
Yeah, what's up? What's up, Bashidu?
I just want to address the people saying that it was fixed. You really think Ugas would take that much punishment if it was fixed?
It ain't even about him taking the punishment. This is his chance to even be more greater and getting more money. If he would have won last night, you talking about him coming from the islands and having to swim over here and all that shit. If he would have beat Earl last night, he think he got nice house in Vegas now.
Nah,
That nigga
I'm not saying they wouldn't have. I'm not saying they wouldn't have robbed him on the scorecard.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, but I'm getting at the point that where he nigga, when it's in front, it's easier said than done. Like Bushido, you think the nigga Bushido, hey, Bushido, you think that this nigga just stood there
good, and I think I said it in
I'm
the chat.
saying he wasn't used to the pressure. He wasn't used to that pressure.
Yeah, full credit.
He had never fought nobody like that before.
His style.
You think, yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. You think the shit easier, nigga, until you walk into some horse shit, you don't know the smell.
No, but Bushido's right though, fam. My man didn't fight. My man wasn't fighting like he fucking.
Seemed like he was pulling some punches, man.
Look, I'm not saying I know it's bad for boxing if Ugas wins, and I'm not saying they probably would have robbed him on the scorecards if it was a controversial decision. But if it was fixed, he would not take that much money.
Bushido's boxing was good, bro. There's levels to this shit.
He kind of looked like Kovalev against Canelo at certain points, man, pulling punches, man.
I don't think so. I just think he just wasn't. I just think Ugas has never faced anybody. Ugas has never faced anybody that was applying pressure like Spence was. Ugas never even really fought no.
He never faced. He never faced
that. But what about when he was even had Earl hurt, man? He didn't even follow up with no.
The reason why he stopped is because like the referee had kind of stepped in for a second. I guess he thought the referee was about to halt the action, so he kind of paused for a second. Then they kept going, and then the referee actually did, and he was just kind of like confused at what the referee was doing. I feel like.
That's why I want to watch the fight again, because I'm curious about what happened to that, because the fight was so good that I got caught up in chats. I want to see the fight again. Is Showtime airing it again, y'all? Because I paid.
It's on YouTube, bro. It's on YouTube.
I want to see that shit when I bought it on, bro.
Did y'all notice how he hurt Errol to the body last night? Did y'all see that?
I noticed that. I was actually at the fight. I was at the fight with my girl, and I was telling her, I was like, yo, I think Errol is hurt to the body, but nobody really seemed to notice that. But I definitely noticed that.
No, he was getting caught to the body a lot, but he carried on well.
No, I'm saying he hurt him to the body.
Yeah, he was hurt to the body. You could tell every time Ugas hit him, he kind of sunk his stomach back really low. Like you could tell like he was hurt to the body.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I don't think hurt. Like, oh my goodness.
No, I don't mean
no more.
Stop. No, I don't mean stop by no means.
Okay, yeah.
He bumped a little bit too, though.
He did. He did, and like I said, this is Earl trying to get the knockout. Like I said, that's usually a Bud tendency, you know. When I come him being defensively irresponsible, but Earl did it this fight, so I don't expect him to go in there with Bud doing the same thing he did with Ugas, trying to get a knockout and please the fans. What's so funny about it? It kind of reminded me of when Floyd Mayweather fought Miguel Cotto, and up to that point, everybody was talking about Earl, Floyd can't stand toe to toe, and so when he stood toe to toe, it came into a dog fight, and it came into a real fight for Mayweather. So
the thing when he dropped his mouthpiece out, he did the same as that thing in the Danny Garcia fight. I don't know if y'all.
Yep, he did.
Yo,
and that's a rookie mistake. That is a rookie mistake.
I feel like the reason why is because he had the accident. He had to get those new teeth put in, so he definitely not trying to get hit without the mouthpiece.
He need to get a new mouthpiece, bro. That's just.
Do y'all agree that Spence is a body snatcher, bro?
Yes.
Yeah, when you stand there, yeah.
No, it wasn't. Hold on, you can't do that, brother.
Y'all
can't do that.
Ugas stand there. Y'all make it seem like Ugas was just
you know what I like about Bud? Bud was the first thing Bud did when they met was like he touched his fucking stomach and like nigga, like he letting him know, nigga, you not fucking my body up.
That's some real shit. Sean Porter fucked his body up, brother. What are you talking about?
Whose body?
Like,
Sean Porter effed up Bud's body a lot in that fight.
I don't think Spence
already in the game, bro.
Terence Crawford got tired in the middle of the fight. Let's be real here. He got very tired.
He got tired.
I don't think Spence got like the one
get tired.
Yes, he did.
He'll break down the body little by little over time. He don't got the one.
You know what he did? He was basically trying to keep out of the way of harm's way because Sean Porter's like a football player. He will fucking tackle you, smack you. He'll fucking elbow you.
Yeah, and Sean Porter was going to his body. That's why he's very sweaty.
He was going to Sean Porter's body. You remember? You remember
that? No, he was. But all I'm saying is, yes, Terence Crawford was tired. Around 7, 8, he was for 2 or 3 rounds. He was very tired. because all the attrition.
Seemed
And
like
if
he
you
was
go,
carrying Sean to me.
no, he wasn't.
He
See,
was
here we
carrying
go.
Sean.
Soon as
Hold on, hold on.
Bomac said what he said, Terrence went on like 20, man. He turned up the energy to like 20.
Another thing we got to talk about too, for all the people that said Errol Spence only did those numbers because of Mikey Garcia, this man did 40,000 on his own basically because nobody knows who Ugas is.
Yeah, but the ticket was $35, man.
That card was
Come
fire.
on,
You
bro.
tripping? Earl didn't sell that fight by itself, bro. We bought that card because of the fucking card, bro.
It was a great
wasn't
card,
just
bro.
this,
No,
bro.
no.
I'm not talking about the people that bought the card. I'm talking about the people that showed up to the event. They were there for Errol Spence. I was there in person. Everybody, majority of people there was Errol Spence fans for sure.
Yeah, but the ticket prices was a lot cheaper than a lot of other places, though.
Okay, but let me
online,
ask you this question. Let me ask you this
$35
question,
seats, bro.
What American fighter in boxing can put up
Exactly.
40,000 people coming
Exactly.
in? People
Well,
coming
I'll
from
say
their
this, though.
homes.
I'll say this in defense of Spence. Spence is a star, man, and with Spence and Bud, those prices will be 3 times the amount. They'll be 3 times the amount when he fight Bud.
It was 90% Spence. 90%.
Did you see all the people in the crowd for Did you see all the people in the crowd for Cruz? The first fight with Tank. Those was fucking Cruz fans in that crowd.
Here we go.
I don't know about that. Yeah, Cruz had some fans, but I don't know.
I want to know what the pay-per-view numbers are. That's what I want to know.
Me too. I can't wait for them to come out. Me too.
You know, we can't get into that because guess what? We the fans, yo. We gotta represent.
No, I just want to know. I just want to know. I don't. It ain't gonna affect me.
I mean, I don't think
you got it right.
I don't think it did more than Danny because nobody really know who Ugas. If Manny did 200K against Ugas, I don't really see Spence beating those numbers.
Well, he did 250K. He did 250K.
I think it's gonna be more than 200,000.
I'm gonna say
I do.
Did about 200K probably.
Now I do.
No,
I think 175, but I think it is.
I think it does between 250 and 300, somewhere in between there.
It might be 300,000, yo. It
I don't know
might
about
be 300,000.
I don't think it'll do more than Manny.
Because I gotta give Earl his credit. He really kind of came out his show, this fight with him promoting the fight and stuff. He actually, he's becoming more of an extrovert. If that's the right word for it.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope we get more of
that.
Errol.
That's true.
Errol Bud when they met the first time when Errol had on the red hoodie. I hope we get that personality from both guys. Because
it's gonna be some trash talk.
Yeah,
we've seen it. But I just don't think that Bud can take that type of beating from Spence. He just can't take that type of beating.
He ain't gonna be trying to take.
Bud has never fought nobody as big and as strong as Errol Spence.
No, he hasn't.
Well, listen, Ugas looked a lot bigger than Errol last night.
Exactly. And what did Errol do to him?
It just looked crazy.
Errol still bullied him.
And Errol ain't fought nobody as versatile as Bud. And that punch like Bud with the variety of punches, man.
Who has Bud fought as versatile?
Wait, hold on.
Honestly, it'll be each fighter's toughest test.
I agree.
He fought Benavidez. He fought Benavidez bigger. He fought
Benavidez had one leg.
Bigger.
Benavidez had one leg.
Jeff Horn was bigger.
He's a middleweight, bro.
It doesn't matter. He was
a middleweight. Jeff Horn is a middleweight.
Wait, okay. Can I ask you a question?
All these guys are bigger.
They bigger, but they limited though. They bigger, but they limited though.
Let me kill that narrative.
Good point.
Let me kill that narrative. Would y'all say that Bud is a bigger man now that he's aged at 147 than he was at 130?
Yes,
I'm saying. So, okay, we all agree on that. So all I'm saying is during that time, these guys were legit 147 pounders. They just outgrew the division. So that's all it is. So stop acting like
Benavidez was a big guy anyway, though.
Who?
Yo, this was the biggest guy in Spence sport, yo.
Benavidez is a tall guy.
Down, yo. He was crouching down to fight.
Benavidez was limited though.
Man, Ugas looked like he was 6 feet, man. His arms look longer than Spence's. He just looked like
Dennis Ugas' arms actually is a 73.5 inches. Pretty much.
They said it was 69, and I was
BoxRec has it wrong. But if you looked at the tail of the tape, they had it correct on the tail of the tape.
Like 73.5 inches.
Yeah, BoxRec got him at like 69.
But let me read the super chat. Hold on. He says, Dirty Red says, maybe the mouthpiece thing is just something slick to get a breather from throwing a lot of punches, just like Jason Kidd spilling a drink to get time out.
Nah, man.
Nah, he got hit in the throat or the neck or something.
This is going to be Bud's downfall when this fight happens. This is the reason why I've picked Spence. It's just because
Okay.
it's Bud. We can agree that Bud is a competitor and he's gonna fight back, and that's gonna
Well,
be his
I would hope he. I would hope he
That's
would.
Look at Abdul. Look at Abdul Shakur's comment, yo. Billy Nunes posted and Dongo all over 6 feet. Look at his comment, yo.
Huh?
Look at Abdul. Whatever the fuck his name is. Shakur. Abdus Shakur. Look at his comment. Ugas threw. You know what I'm saying? He's saying like they were all big dudes. Crawford fought big dudes, bro.
No, he fought tall dudes. Just because he fought tall dudes.
1 second, Lenore.
But with that being said, it's not even that's a small point here.
Hey,
I'm just talking about when you go and you have somebody like Bud who is competitive, willing to trade with you. I just don't think he's going to be on the nice end of that. Most of the exchanges.
You think Errol fought somebody like Bud?
This my thing. This my thing though. Y'all saying Bud gonna get lured into this trading war, man. I just don't understand. Do y'all watch this dude? It ain't about him trading. He gets in exchanges, but he steps out. Just like Errol Spence do.
Exactly.
Errol Spence just don't stick. Errol Spence just don't stick. Hold on, fam. Errol Spence jump in and out. You saw it with Danny Garcia last night, bro. And I'm not taking nothing away from Errol Spence because he did his shit. But last night, the first 4 rounds, if y'all watch, Ugas was parrying the jab, and Derrick James was telling EJ, all right, he parrying the jab. So when you paw it, go straight to the body, and you step into his chest and keep rocking the body. And once Spence figured that out, that's when the fight changed.
Hey, D, man, isn't that beautiful when you think about like how Derek is able to make as a boxing trainer? It's just like it brings a tear to my eye when I see a boxing trainer.
Hey,
I'm not literally. Not literally. I'm joking.
Y'all got to give Bomac his credit too, though, bro.
No. Bomac is a great trainer.
But I think
honestly, when I look at Derrick James, I see an all-time great level trainer, bro. Derek, I mean, within the first 4 rounds, he said, "Okay, this is what you do." You know what else he did that he told Earl to do? He said, "Okay, so if a fight's gonna do this," he said, "Throw out his shoulder because when Ugas ducks down because he was parrying a lot of punches and covering up, it's automatically going to hit him on the side of his head because he's going to duck down anyways."
But
so it was just crazy how
which fighter has the better in-fight adjustments and who has a higher IQ?
The better in-fight adjustment. That's a good one.
I think Bud Crawford got higher IQ, and on the inside game, I'm gonna give y'all this. Errol Spence is definitely a better inside fighter, but with the shit y'all saw last night, Ugas tried to tie him up, and he was pushing Spence back a little bit. It's just Ugas, a little bit, but it's just Ugas never turned him and got behind him and grabbed him. That was the difference.
He didn't follow it up with any punch.
I always call Ugas a stagnant fighter because he don't know what to do when it's time to switch up, bro. When it's time to do something different, he don't know what to do.
Exactly.
Crawford pick this nigga apart, bro. He got like switch up on this nigga.
Hey, Shido, this B house, man. I'm from Detroit.
Nigga, I feel like I'm in the ring with this nigga.
I'm literally about a mile away from Tony Harrison jump, like super bad boxing guy.
Okay.
I see this shit every day. I see this shit I already knew it's levels to this shit. Earl on a different level, bro. Like it's levels to this. I like Bud. Don't get the shit twisted. I ain't taking shit away from Bud. And I'm just saying it's levels to this shit. You got
let him talk.
I know, but nigga, I tell you this though.
Hey,
Let me hold on 1 second, Lenore. I tell you this.
Nigga,
that Derrick James style, niggas. My bad. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Niggas is so big on the eyeball test with the Kyrie Irving, the Allen Iverson crossing niggas over. Earl is a Tim Duncan. The job's still gonna get done, and it's gonna get done. He gonna bang that bitch off the glass.
It ain't gonna get done with Crawford, bro.
Hey,
bro. The thing of it is, though, bro. 1 second, and I got you. The thing of it is, though, fam. It's easy to say that when a nigga is standing right in front. I'm not hating. It's just the nigga was sitting right in front of him, bro.
And you know what? And you know why he was sitting right in front of him? Because he felt something. It's a different.
He's a stagnant fighter, bro. He's not Crawford.
Listen.
But Jay,
listen. I'm about to tell you. I see at Tony shit. I see the shit in the gym
Yo,
all the time.
Rahman, fuck you,
It's a
nigga.
it's a era.
Man.
It's a presence. And
Bitch
motherfucker
ass nigga, fuck you, nigga.
Danny Garcia said
Happy
Keith
Easter,
Thurman
nigga.
pop like a motherfucker. Keith Thurman
Yeah.
pop. He said, but Earl, he said, nigga, he was more afraid of Earl than anything, and Earl wasn't hitting like that. He said Earl pressure. He said, nigga, Earl was always, you felt this pressure. It was like a fucking curtain over you.
Well, Danny won't even get in the ring with
You
Bud.
said Danny said that?
Danny
Okay.
won't even get in the ring with Bud.
Danny Garcia said it with
and check-
on the
but check-
boxing boy.
He won't even get in the ring with Bud though.
Check
But
this
yeah,
out.
go ahead. No, my bad.
Yeah,
About-
him and Bud tied in the amateurs. Yeah, he beat Bud once. Bud beat
I'm
Yeah,
saying
he-
in the
he-
pros,
he-
he
but
won't
about-
fight Bud.
about the about the IQ and stuff, dog. I mean, when you think about it, if you give Bud the IQ, honestly, after this performance by Derrick James, man, it evens it up when you have Derrick James in your corner, man. When you have Derrick James in your corner, you have Derrick James in your corner. You have Derrick James in your corner.
Nah, bro.
It evens it up. It evens it up.
Bro,
Hey,
Ben
Oh,
showed
yeah.
his ring IQ with the Mikey fight.
But hey, one thing
Ben
I
showed his
can
ring IQ in the Mikey fight.
Hey, one thing I can say though, bro, is that when Earl generates power when he sits on his punches. Bud generates power when he moves as well. He can move and still throw a punch and still have effects on it. Hey, Bushido, you got that clip when he knocked out Kavyaskis. Y'all will see he took an angle. He swung the left hook. He jumped in with the right and hit him with another left hook.
And I'm glad you said that. See, people get this boxing shit confused, and that's what I love about TJ Tony Harris. Nigga, it's a team effort. Like what Earl doing now? He got a fucking nutritionist. We don't want to hear about Bud with no nutritionist. We hardly hear about
bro.
Bud.
He has a nutritionist.
Listen,
what you talking about?
Whether he have it or not, we don't hear about it.
We don't have to hear about it, bro. That don't make no difference. Time out, fam. Time out, fam.
Hold on, but JD,
let me finish.
Come on, bro. What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Let me finish what I'm saying. Look,
go ahead.
Bro, JD, let him finish what you gotta say, man.
Look,
Yeah,
this motherfucker Earl is army. He fucking went from the Blu-rays. He done did.
Oh, he breaking up.
Crawford is a fighter. He could do this shit without motherfucking Bomac big ass. He could do that shit without.
But we're not gonna say all that.
Let me talk. So when you got it's a team. Let me talk. It's a team.
You breaking up.
Yeah, fam, you breaking up.
You breaking up.
Okay, I'll step in there
let me go after you.
Okay, for sure.
Check this out.
It's a team.
But
Hold on.
That's why niggas.
Hey, I'm glad. Nah, hold on, Lennar, hold on.
They ain't gonna let me finish.
Lennar and his crew are on here feeling so comfortable about Errol Spence's performance last night. Because finally, y'all got the guts to finally want to see Errol Spence step in the ring with Terence Crawford. When Terence Crawford beat that ass, I don't want to hear no goddamn excuses. Y'all could talk about his damn nutritionist. Y'all could talk about his goddamn.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about.
I want to see your ass.
I don't give a fuck about. Look, I don't
Can't hear y'all. It's too many people.
Yeah, this shit crazy. I don't give a fuck about no. I don't give a fuck about no 11, no 7th Street knockout. How many?
Just hold on, man. Come on, man. Come on, bro.
How many niggas getting put in the hospital? How many niggas getting audible?
Man,
That was his first knockout in 4 years, bro.
Okay, I agree with that.
It don't matter.
Don't mean nothing, bro.
When Crawford hurt a nigga? When Crawford put a nigga in the hospital?
Exactly. Fact.
When?
Hey, I can tell you this. I can take
that beat down, nigga.
I can tell you one thing. He might have not sent a nigga to the hospital, but every nigga he fought was never the same.
Oh, here we go with this mess.
It's the truth, and that's on both sides.
Here you go with the both sides.
Hey, can I say something, gentlemen, man? Can I just say something?
Fight that was worthy of anything.
Hey, now let me
But the
just
thing
say
of it,
something,
come
bro.
on, don't do that. Don't discredit the man, bro.
Who did he fight that was worth
Can I
that
say
nigga?
something, gentlemen?
He fought the top guys in his division. He
Terence
Gentlemen,
took
can I
them.
say
Terence
something, bro?
Crawford
Y'all,
at 34 years old had his first A-class win in Sean Porter.
can I
So
say
what are
can
you
tell
even
you
something?
this.
talking about? Get out of
If,
here.
if
See, that's where the shit get twisted.
I can't, and listen, I can't wait for Earl to go in there and stomp on Terence Crawford. So people like
hey,
Bo,
hey, I'm
people
finna say
like Bo could eat that
hey,
damn
look, hey,
crow, and all you niggas talking all that shit for years got you
when
niggas
Bud,
shook now. I can't wait for it, man.
Hey,
I
the
if
can't
beauty
you
of
wait.
it is
I
they're
can't
gonna
when
wait.
fight,
Bud
bro. So
What
when
is
with
it?
with,
Bud
What
with
is
it
it
all due
say?
when
Hold
respect,
Bud
on,
came
hold
on
on.
the
Let me
scene,
say
they
this
fight
right
for
quick,
real.
Jay. Let me say this. Hold on, hold on. Let me talk, Jay. Just let me get my piece off real quick. Give you back the floor. What does it say about a man who's coming off of a 16-month layoff, 17-month layoff, an eye injury,
19
and
months.
still able to stomp a man and put on a better performance than Bud with Sean Porter? What does it
Put
say
on
about a
time.
man?
Let me ask you.
Hey,
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on,
I just want to say this.
hold
I
on,
just
hold
want
on,
to say
hold on,
this.
hold on,
Sean Porter.
hold on, hold on, hold on.
Y'all,
Hey,
you
hold on,
can
hold on. Let
stay.
me talk.
You,
Wait.
my bad, Bushido.
I bet Earl put. I
Wait. Let
bet
me talk. Let
Earl.
me talk.
I bet
Whoa.
Earl. I bet Earl
Hey,
put.
Bushido trying to talk, yo.
All right. Let me say this. Is it more about what Earl did or what Ugas didn't do?
Hey, we
You
hear the
can't
excuse
do it.
all
You
the
can't
time,
do it because
Bushido.
that's what I was
We heard the
explaining
same excuse
earlier.
with Danny Garcia. He wasn't fighting back. We heard the same excuse with Mikey Garcia.
Davis,
He
no,
wasn't fighting back. We
But
always hear this.
Bernard,
It's
it's
always an
true though.
excuse.
It's true though.
Danny
And
pulled
hey,
up. Danny pulled up
and
compared to Ugas, bro.
just to flip it over, Jose Benavidez stood right in front of Bud too.
It took him 12 rounds to get a one-legged fighter out of there. I don't want to hear
Man,
it.
don't
And
do that
Benavidez
though,
fight,
bro.
bro.
The nigga a
Benavidez
counterpuncher. Don't do
fight.
that. Don't do that.
and if a nigga stand right in front of Earl, he putting him in the hospital.
Bro, this guy went
Yo.
life and death with a
Oh,
one-legged fighter.
goddamn. Who that, Big Fish?
Benavidez like Benavidez
Is
just
that
some
Big
bum.
Fish talking shit? Yo,
Bushido,
dog.
pull up that recent post by Spence with the shark
Let me ask y'all this.
put
Let
up
me
that
ask.
recent
Can
post
I
by
just say
Spence.
one thing,
After
gentlemen?
beat Benavidez, I was with the
Gen-
sleep. He did
gen-
it so fucking easy and finessing, yo. He finally got
Gentlemen,
him out.
let me just
What's the
ask this
problem?
question. I've been waiting for about 20 minutes, man. Hey, do y'all think Earl gonna stay disciplined enough? Because that's why we highlight the nutrition, because he be out of shape most of the time. I hope he wouldn't party with the George Carlos. Is he gonna stay? Let me finish.
When Earl told the world that shit was a tax write off, that shit is a given. That nigga said
Let me
I was
finish.
trying to
Is
save some
Earl gonna
bread.
be disciplined?
Now that he know for a fact, and he moved out of he moved out of a high riser all the way to the country with fucking pigs and shit. That nigga serious, bro.
Yeah, bro.
I'm
Errol was
Yeah,
a
saying we
family
and
man.
celebrating a
because you
guy
have
for being
and I give you that. I give him all the credit for changing his lifestyle, bro. That's
bro. Can I
fine.
finish?
That's
Man, I love this. I love this,
I
man.
didn't
It's
even get a
common
chance to
sense.
finish.
It's like nigga, look what he
We
did.
see Spence
Yo,
got his
Fish
style.
fight like a girl,
Now,
though.
now,
Some
now he
real
can
shit.
knock out Sack.
He fight like boxing, though.
Now he
But
can knock out
Bud Cheeto. Why are you always discrediting Spence talking about he's not fighting back? That's the same thing they always say about the opponents. He wasn't fighting back. No,
That's not
can't.
Errol's fault. It's not
No,
his
it's
fault that
not,
Ugas didn't
because they
fight.
can't.
I'm not gonna say that.
They
I'm
can't fight back. They
it's
can't
not.
because Earl's too good. He
I'm
keeps putting
finna
the
say
pressure. They
that. I
can't
was just
fight
gonna
back. They
say
get beat up.
it's not that it was the opponent in front of him that made him not fight back. It's the it's a pressure there. It's a different type of
I'm just
caliber.
surprised why
You gonna get up at a spelling bee and you gonna do it. And then you in front of you do the shit in the classroom all day,
but why
and
we
then you in front of
praise
your
Errol
moms
for being
and the whole auditorium. You like, oh shit, here it come.
we
Damn,
praise
here it
Errol
come.
for being in shape, but that's what pro fighters
Yo,
supposed to be, is in shape, bro. That ain't nothing.
Errol
That's what they
Spence,
supposed
I
to
don't
be.
want to hear
He was
Yo,
winning. But he was winning when he wasn't in
Bushido.
shape. But he
Earl
was winning.
exactly.
and
That just goes fire. And it shows how
When
great
he
he
wasn't
is.
in shape, we heard it ain't not.
No,
It ain't
no.
man
Let me
down.
finish.
It ain't this and that.
Errol made a lot of mistakes last night, y'all. He didn't
You know he
fight a
did.
perfect
You know,
fight.
but he gained
hey,
respect because of the
He's
body shot.
supposed to.
He
He's
and I
fought
was
supposed
that
to
hey.
win the
body
last time
shot.
he fought. It was
Man,
19 months ago.
y'all ain't even
It
let
was
me
19 months ago.
talk, man. I
Yo,
wouldn't get my
talk, nigga.
point
You
off.
good?
I'm just saying,
19
Earl
months ago.
fought a good fight, but he left himself open. He got hit with some punch. He got hurt a couple of times.
Okay,
Let me
I
finish.
agree with you. I thought you were done. My bad.
He came through like a champion. I'm gonna give him 100% credit for that, but he still need to clean up some stuff. I hope he comes in 100%, because to me, that was probably a 95, 90% Errol Spence. I'm keeping it real.
Thank you.
You know what? It was
Thank
like an
you.
80% Earl Spence. That was
Nah,
an
that was
80%
90,
Earl
bro.
Nah,
Spence.
No,
nah.
no,
He was
that
messed
wasn't
himself.
80.
He
That's
messed
like
himself.
85,
80%
90.
Crawford,
Come
yo.
on, come on, bro.
Let's go in order, yo. Let's go in order.
He,
Who on
he,
top?
he ain't
Hey,
got
hey,
to
hey,
he ain't got to be
Hold on.
100.
1.5.
He ain't got to be
Everybody get
100
their
to fight.
fucking chance, yo.
You see,
He ain't got
Lennar,
to
I
be
try to be
he ain't got to be
objective,
100 to
Lennar.
fight Crawford.
Bushido, give us a
Like you
chance.
said,
1, 2, 3,
like
4,
you
5.
said, he ain't got to
Earl
be 100 to
Spence
fight
himself.
Crawford.
Underrate this
What
shit.
Earl
hey,
say?
hey, hey,
Earl
hey,
said if that Russian knocked him down, I'm sure I could stop him.
Hell yeah. Nah, I'm glad. I'm
Well, he
glad he
ain't
said
stopped
that.
little Mikey
Yo,
either,
Earl
man.
Spence
So I don't want
said,
to hear
Earl
that he
Spence
But
was
no,
said,
but
beating
hold
Mikey.
on, bro. Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Brain
That's
got
I
Earl.
love.
Now
Hey,
you
I love.
contradicting yourself.
78.
Hey,
That's
bro.
the
Hey,
now you
yo.
contradicting yourself. That's the
With
Earl
Earl
that
carrying
wasn't
Mike
that was the
and
Earl
shit.
that
What kind of
wasn't in
shit is that?
shape. That
Carrying
was the
Mike.
Earl that wasn't in shape.
That's him. That's on him.
Nah,
That's
he
his
was in shape,
flaws.
nigga. Nah, he
Those
was
are
in
his
shape.
flaws.
Right.
Okay, okay.
So now that he's in shape and he's that guy,
Yo,
then the motherfucker
Mhm.
let me
who
just say
knocked
this, yo.
Bud down,
Yo,
Earl gonna get a knock. He said if that motherfucker could knock him down, I'm sure I could
You've
finish his
never
ass.
not seen
Hey,
Hey,
Bud in
I
shape.
just find it.
hey, just to flip,
I just find it
flip that
amazing.
over.
I find it amazing that Earl Spence fans want to say he's 95%, 80%, 70%. When Earl Spence himself said he was 100%. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Like
Okay,
y'all so all over Earl Spence. No, that wasn't
okay,
100%.
Listen,
Man,
okay.
I'm a
Hold
Bud
on.
So
guy,
we
No,
go in
man.
order. So we can go
Okay,
in
let me
order and
let
cut
me
all
get
the
some more. Hey,
bullshit
Guess
out.
what?
let me get a
Earl
chunk of
said
this.
that.
Let me get a chunk of
No,
this.
look.
Let me get a
Earl
chunk of
said
this. Let me get
that.
a chunk of this.
Earl said that
Okay,
before the
in
performance.
boxing fights. Okay, we all watch boxing fights. You know
Yeah.
how a fighter will guarantee a knockout. They say I'm going to knock him out, and they don't end up getting
Yeah.
it.
Unless
This
he
is
said that
boxing.
before the
This
Spence
is
did
fight.
that this time.
hold on, bro.
Spence did
Let
that
me,
this
let me
time.
say it. Hold on, I'm trying to explain piece
Hey,
right quick. So
look at that as a
we
kid.
all know in a boxing fight, fighters make promises that a lot of times they can't keep. So let's not hold this against the Earl when he said. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself this question: was he at his best after the 16-month eye injury? I mean, let's be fair.
Yeah,
That
because
no,
Yeah,
He
how
was
many
no,
rounds?
strong,
he
bro.
can't.
He was
he
at his
To
best
was.
know
when he
that it
was
wasn't
strong.
100.
He definitely was. He definitely
No, he
was.
wasn't. No, he what?
No.
And you, but hold on. But
So when he
one more
fought
thing.
Lamont
And
Peterson, that wasn't
the
100%.
reason why people keep the Bud
He was
fans
at
saying he
100% when
was
he fought Lamont
the
Peterson.
reason why
I
the
mean,
Bud
that was
fans
100%
hold
Earl.
on.
Then
The
when we
reason
saw
why the
last night,
Bud
wasn't
fans
100.
are hold on, bro, hold
We
on.
saw
The reason why
100%
the
Earl
Bud
last.
fans are saying Earl's at 100% because they know that he can go up. He
But
wasn't even
they
at
say Ugas
100%.
stood right in front
They
of him.
know he
But
wasn't at
We
100%, so
saw
they
a
don't want him to be at
70%
100%
Crawford,
to
bro.
fight
you can't
Terence
use that. You
Crawford.
Last
can't
fight,
use that if
And
he
that's
said
the
it was
reason
100.
why.
Ain't about what we using with about but what we using against Crawford, this and that. Crawford got to know he got to swallow that pride. 3 straps on this side.
Hey,
You got to
bro,
swallow your
stay out there
pride.
No.
negotiations with that shit, man.
What
Stay out there
talking,
Here we
bro? What
go.
negotiations
talking
with
Like
that,
Here
crazy?
nah,
we
bro.
nigga gonna
go.
bend, but
That's
I ain't
like
gonna
that's
break.
the first.
Them
See, that's
Hey,
what I'm
Belgians
in
is
talking
the
about.
still, man.
Cruising the Ring magazine was on the line.
Hold on. That's what I'm
Who that
talking about.
talking, bro?
That bullshit right there, man. Stay out these niggas negotiations, bro.
Nah, I
Hey,
want to hear
we
about the
know
Exactly, bro.
we
negotiations. It makes the trash
I'm
talking
about
fun.
to fucking
the thing
counter
of it
that
is
shit.
though, bro.
Fuck
The thing of it is we know who the A side is, bro. It's not about what Earl get. It's about what Terrence get too. So
yeah,
stay
No,
out the
you guys don't know who the
Bushido
A
negotiations,
It's a
side
bro.
mega
is.
last
fight,
fall,
Y'all
man.
don't know
nigga.
who the A side is. Y'all don't know. Y'all
It's a
still on.
mega
Lenore,
fight,
we
bro.
know who
Terrence
the A
Crawford.
side is.
It's a
We know who the
50-50
A
fight,
side
nigga.
is. We know who the A
Nah.
side is, bro. Earl will get a little bit more because he got 3 belts, bro, and the
No, because
sales.
there's
We
a
know
way
that.
bigger fan
It's
base.
it's it's
Exactly.
not a
It's the
mega fight
way
without
bigger
either
fan
guy,
base.
y'all. You need
It
2
But
is,
guys
Earl
to
gotta
but
have a
give his
mega
money to
fight.
everybody else, though. Crawford taking all his money home. Don't get it fucked up.
All right.
like,
But you
come
know
on,
what's so
man.
crazy though? It's like the Bud fans, they don't want Earl to be 100% because they know that wasn't 100% Earl, and he still did that to Ugas. So
No, we
this
just don't
next
want no
fight,
That was
excuses,
when he
100%
Lennar.
goes
Earl,
We
in
don't
bro.
want
there,
no
man,
excuses, Lennar.
when he goes in there and is 100%, what type of damage do you think he's going to do to
We don't
Terrence
want no
Crawford? What
excuses,
type of damage
Lennar.
do you think he's going to
No
do?
excuses.
His
There's
legs
no
look a little
excuses.
weak.
There's no
That
excuses.
his
But
legs look a
ask
little
yourself
weak,
this
but that was
question:
100% Earl, bro.
you want it to be 100% Earl, but you know he can do even
But
Earl
better. So
Spence
Yeah,
don't
did
even
it
yeah,
to
bro.
don't
100%,
even try
Lenore.
it.
Come on,
Don't
Lenore.
even. I'm
Stop
not even
The
trying to
nigga
capping.
hear
got a year off,
I'm not
nigga.
trying to hear it. I'm not.
Lenar,
I got a
back
question,
on Terrence,
Lenar.
bro.
Are you? Does he have a suspect chin? Because you always talking about Terrence. You talking about Terrence and Gamboa and Mean Machine. He got rocked last night, and he got
Okay, and
hurt
can I answer?
twice.
Can I
By a
answer
pillow
that?
fisted puncher. By a pillow fisted puncher, he got rocked. That's the
Can
second
I
time he
can I
got
answer
rocked by a
that?
pillow fisted guy.
All right, let me respond to that. First of all,
Hold up. Let me read this super chat. Gotta get a little bit of control in here. It's been getting kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get some control up in here. Hold up. Dirty Red says, real question for the panel. How does each guy neutralize the other who will dictate the terms of the fight, and how this is the key to this matchup.
Okay, in response to what you guys were saying about Earl and getting rocked. So
No, that's a good
so
question.
hold on.
No.
But
Read the question real
Was
quick.
Bud.
No.
Hold on,
Hey,
man. I had the four.
Fuck that, nigga. This is my shit, bro. Answer the question. Let's go, Damone Dane. Let's go.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you. You broke up on me.
No, I had to mute Lennar, man. He's getting too crazy and shit. He asked the question here. What's the real question? Is the how does each guy neutralize the other, and who will dictate the terms of the fight?
Oh, that's gonna determine who wins. I think that pace is gonna matter. Work rate is gonna be key to this fight, and for me, I think Bud is gonna have to punch with EJ to offset some of that activity, and he's gonna have to get his respect with some punches early. And then I think that the IQ and the adjustments within the fight will determine the winner. That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm. All right, go ahead, LT.
Oh, but shoot, my bad, bro. I didn't know you were speaking. I thought somebody else cut me off. If I knew it was you, I just would have stopped talking. I thought it was somebody else. But as far as the answering his, you want me to answer the question the guy in the super chat, or you want me to respond to the earlier question?
No, yeah. Just go ahead and answer the super chat question. Then go ahead and answer the knockout one.
Okay, so as far as the super chat, what was the question, panel? How does each guy neutralize the other? So Earl neutralizes Bud by making it a dog fight. I think Earl, stick with that jab in the beginning, get your timing down, and come in and go chest to chest with him. Do not try to allow Bud to dance around the ring because Bud likes to trade anyway. So use that to your advantage, and just put a beat down on him. And as far as answering the question that the other two brothers I was speaking with, talking about Earl getting hurt and questionable chin. I mean, Bud was getting hurt by Porter all night up until the last couple of rounds. If we were being fair, and as well, when you actually look at it, Errol Spence got hit by a shot he could not see because he was looking down because it was supposed to be stopped as soon as his mouthpiece came down, and he got hit by a shot and he did get rocked and he was hurt, but he recovered. And he got hit by a shot he did not see at all. So that's a testament to his chin, that he has a solid chin because he's able to take a shot that he did not see and recover from it completely.
Who next?
Okay. Who next? That NY kid.
You want me to answer the super chat question?
Yeah. How does the fight play out? Who dictates the pace of the fight, etc.?
I feel like Errol gotta break him down early to the body. Like he gotta invest in the body and just slowly break him down. I wouldn't really think it would be a good idea for either fighter to trade with each other. Honestly, I think they have a better chance if it's more of a boxing match than a dog fight, because I mean, either of them can get. Errol don't really got one punch knockout power like that. Errol, he more so breaks fighters down little by little, but Bud got that one punch. He could stun you with one punch, and then Bud's one of the best finishers in boxing. So I feel like Errol just gotta take the same approach that he took to like the Mikey Garcia fight, in my opinion. But he gotta break him down little by little to the body.
Okay. And what about you, Ryan?
I'm gonna say it like this, bro. You ever seen a fucking lion fight a fucking Bengal tiger? Bud is gonna paw this nigga up, bro. You might swing wide, you might fucking have pressure, but the nigga gonna be aware, he's gonna catch you, and he gonna put your ass to sleep. That's how this shit gonna go down. I'm a T-Bud fan, nigga. Let's go.
Salute to Rod. All right, Bo, what about you, man?
I think, to be honest, is what's going to work for Errol Spence. He got to get Terence Crawford to be a stationary fighter, pretty much. But to be honest with you, I just think Terence Crawford got more tools in the bag. Once he start moving around on Errol Spence, I think he's going to confuse the hell out of Errol Spence, and Errol Spence going to get a little bit too desperate, and he's going to run into a complete shot, kind of like how Porter and Diaz did.
Let me add one little thing quick, Bushido. When Bud switches, I think that's going to be key. See how that plays out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit!
But
Yeah,
what's
Uh-oh.
Chance got in the super chat. Shit. The key to
No.
victory. The key to
but
victory
what
for Errol, I think, is he definitely gonna have to go to the body, man. He definitely gonna have to use that jab to set up those body shots, try to cut off the ring on Crawford, and keep Crawford kind of pinned on the ropes and not have a fight in the center of the ring. For Bud, I think for what Bud got to do is Bud got to try to create openings, use his feints, and switching will be key. But I think the orthodox will be best for him because he'll have Earl thinking that okay, I can land that left hand, and then he could run into something like Kell Brook did.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh,
maybe
lawyers.
maybe
Uh-oh.
What you say, baby?
What it is today.
Uh-oh, lawyer to the game.
uh-oh.
Y'all know exactly what it is today.
Hey, let's turn up, brother. Let's turn up.
Well, first off, y'all got to give me my props. I said the fight would be stopped. I said the fight would be stopped by the ref.
You did.
Okay, so
you get 100% credit.
Give me my props because, as I said, he was going to get pummeled. Errol Spence don't knock people out. He punishes them until they're completely broken down, and the ref stops the fight.
He beats him into submission.
And it's good. The same. And let me tell you guys. Let me tell you guys something.
Let him finish. Let
me tell you guys something that's gonna hurt all y'all feelings. It's gonna happen to Bud even quicker because he's biologically a smaller man than Ugas. It's gonna happen to Bud even quicker. 135 to 140 to 147.
Stand still like Ugas. That's gonna be key for Spence.
Ugas didn't stand still. Ugas had a great game plan. Ugas countered Errol Spence's jab in the beginning of the fight under his jab, not over his jab, with body shots. It was a great game plan. But when you are taking that type of punishment, you will slow down. The same thing that happened to Kell Brook. It's going to deplete you. It is going to be no different for Terence Crawford. Nothing will be different.
Pressure bust pipe.
These dudes gonna be crying in the car when Bud whipped that ass.
He ain't gonna whip his ass because he's not.
I want to say something. You're gonna see a tiger and a lion fight in Dubai, nigga, but you're gonna see it in America, nigga, because we getting this fucking fight.
We're going to definitely get the fight, but just real quick. What you guys don't understand again is that Terence Crawford biologically this fight's going to come down to durability. That's what you guys are missing. Errol Spence can walk into something from Terence Crawford. That is the chance that Terence Crawford has because he has skills, he has counterpunching, and he has power with it. So he can walk into something and get hurt. But these guys, there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of ego, and these guys are going to be trying to kill each other. And I'm trying to tell you, Terence Crawford is not durable enough for that fight. He's going to get broken.
What has shown you that he's not? Curious?
Because the way his body reacts to shots, bro.
Hold on, let him speak.
Bro, you can't
let Lo speak. Hold on, let Lo speak. Let Lo speak. Hold on, let him speak. Hold on,
Listen, bro. You can't.
I'm just saying, bro.
You can't hide from who you are biologically.
Yeah.
When Terence Crawford gets hit,
hold on, bro.
Listen. When Terence, just like Erickson Lubin, when Erickson Lubin after he got hurt, he became chinny. Your body is what it is biologically. Terence Crawford, he has great endurance. He's in shape, right? But when he gets hit, his body kind of does what it wants, not what his head wants it to do. It reacts on its own.
Yeah, that's
Errol Spence. Listen to what I'm saying. Errol Spence did that shit to Ugas, and Ugas wasn't even getting hit clean. It was all behind a high guard, just like Lamont Peterson. These are concussive punches.
Stand there, nigga. He don't sit there.
Bro, you're gonna stand there when you get hurt. You're gonna slow down.
Be like the nigga's a stagnant fighter, nigga. When he get hit, the nigga freeze. Bud gonna fucking get technical on this nigga. He gonna move around. He gonna be like the Matrix.
Bro, Bud starts
You
slow
guys are
in
not
every
listening. You
fight.
guys are not listening.
Bro, Bud
Yeah, he
starts
living
slow
in
in
fantasy
every.
land.
These are facts. Bud
Yeah,
starts slow in
fact. He
every
living in the
fight, and he
fantasy
gets
land.
hit clean. He's not going to stand up to it.
Has
I'm
Bud
trying to
ever
tell you.
been
I'm
Oh,
left
you
up?
know
You
what?
gotta beat the
Hey,
fuck up,
loyal
nigga.
to the game. You
Chris
know what?
always get left up, nigga. Chris
Hey, loyal
always
to
get
the
left
game.
up.
We gonna get the fight to see what's gonna happen.
That nigga always get
We
left
Yeah,
up,
right.
nigga. Hey, who you fucking talking to, nigga?
Well,
think
hold
you
on.
Chris always
Hold
get
on.
left up,
Bro,
nigga.
Let
He
me
even look like
just
get
chill,
hurt, nigga.
bro.
He
Just
even look
chill.
like get hurt, nigga.
let me
you get
just
wobbly legs.
Fuck
let me
out of
just
here.
say this. Let me
Who
just
the
say
fuck
this
you
while we
talking to,
on,
lawyer?
guys.
Just chill,
Let me just
man.
say
Chill.
Come on, man. We
guys.
just having
Let
a
me
good
just say
discussion,
this.
Nah,
gentlemen.
Chris real, nigga.
Guys,
The nigga always get left up.
Just
guys,
chill.
Pull off
listen,
that
guys.
nigga.
Let me just say this while I'm
Jesus Christ.
on Bushido
He let a
Boxing.
football player lump him up, nigga.
Argentis,
lumped him
Just
up.
chill, man. Chill.
Lumped
listen,
him up.
Argentis Barber, you owe me money. We made
Oh,
the bet
shit.
on this show. Argentis Barber,
Oh,
you
shit.
owe me money.
Nigga, that's what I'm talking about, nigga. Get that nigga lawyer. Tell that nigga he owes you,
Argentis
nigga.
Barber, you owe me money.
I hate when niggas don't pay
And
me.
sooner or later, you guys are gonna start listening. The only person who's going to give that's going to give Errol Spence a problem at 147 is going to be Boots, because Boots is a physically bigger guy than him.
Stop the cat.
Okay.
So you basically saying that hey, loyal to the game. So Spence gonna run Bud off the ring is what you're saying.
No, but he gonna beat.
Spence gonna run him out the
the
ring.
dog shit out of him though. He gonna beat the.
He gonna stop Bud.
He's gonna stop Bud. He's gonna stop Bud.
After Bud beat Spence ass, Bo Mac gonna come on Kwame's show and tell him I told you so. Don't be bringing me on the damn show.
Bo Mac, listen, the only reason you guys even respect Bo Mac is because of Bud, because all his other fighters have gotten knocked the fuck out and they lost fights. Okay, so Bud is a special talent.
Keyshawn Davis over there. What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Keyshawn Davis ain't with no goddamn
Bo Mac is the deal, nigga.
I thought Bo Mac did a decent job with the.
Hold on. What happened to Maurice Hooker? What happened to Maurice Hooker on the Bo Mac?
He did a decent job with Jamel Herring, man. I thought.
Yeah, he did. He did good, Jamel.
Maurice Hooker's a real fighter, though. Maurice Hooker will bang with your ass, bro. Maurice Hooker's a good fighter, yo.
Hold on. I hope y'all niggas ain't saying Bo Mac's a better trainer than Derek James. I hope y'all not saying that.
Right.
He definitely is.
Nah, we ain't
They
saying
don't have
that.
no He may have the biggest mouth out of the trainers, but he ain't the best.
He got Jamel, right? Yo, who that yo talking? Don't he got Jamel? Don't Derek James got Jamel too?
Yes.
Yep, and he got Jamel with no belts too.
Derek James
I'm not saying no Derek James, bro.
And that dude, Better Be Up, just beat his other fighter up. So I don't want to hear that. His guys don't always do well.
And then what happened to Club Book and Amir Khan?
Listen, here's the difference. All of Bo Mac's fighters have gotten stopped besides Terence Crawford in their last fight. All.
I gotta go. My daughter.
Well, yeah, but Jamel was out. He was out, man, with Shakur. Nobody
We
thought he
ain't had no excuses. The facts are the
Nobody.
facts.
Did you ever beat Shakur?
And you know what's so crazy too is that you guys let's talk about Archer Beterbiev and Marcus Brown, bro. Derek James had a tougher task with Marcus Brown arguably facing a pound for pound fighter at this hard time in Archer Beterbiev than he had with Amir Khan and Kell Brooks. So let's not act like
Derek James his guy, man. You got to take the bitter with the sweet, though, man. Take the bitter with the sweet. He part of the team.
I'm willing to take the bitter with the sweet, but what I'm stressing again is that all Bo Mac fighters have gotten stopped in their last fight.
I think Derek James is an excellent trainer. I'm not taking nothing away from him, Loyal. I think he's an excellent trainer.
Like the laundry detergent. All ALL.
But
loyal. I will say,
bro. I hope he talk to me again, yo. Bo Mac real, bro.
Hey, look,
you gotta respect Bo Mac, bro.
Ain't got shit about him.
Him and Bud work great together. So whatever that's worth,
nigga, Tony Harrison real. That's my guy.
Hey, Lloyd, I will say this. I will say this though. Coming into this fight, you know, I don't, like I said, I don't think Errol would have been 100% just because of long layoff and stuff. Earl's gonna have to clean some stuff up because this is probably the most irresponsible defensive irresponsibility I've ever seen of Earl in any fight.
I will definitely
Yeah,
agree with that.
19
And you
months.
know what
He
else?
ugly as
And you know what else? And you know what else I'm going to say? I'm going to agree with everybody in this group and chat that Bud need to fight Errol Spence next. He don't need no warm up with Keith Thurman since he want to be wrong and strong. We want you to have this fight ring rust too.
Nigga, let's go. Bang,
Bushido,
nigga,
can you?
let's go.
Let's go. Y'all
Let's
pushing it.
go.
But where was all this?
Hey,
Where was
hold
all
on,
this
hold
talk
on.
at
Put his ass
If
in the dirt.
Earl, after all, he could take a tune-up, but Earl never took a tune-up. I already
No,
know
you don't need no
excuses.
tune-up, man. Go right
You
to
don't
the
need no
fight.
tune-up. So
Put his
if
Go right
ass
to
Earl
the
don't
in
need no
the
fight.
dirt.
tune-up, Bud don't
Fucking
need a
tune
tune-up.
up. Nigga just tuned up
Earl,
because of
Earl don't
Logan.
take no tune-up. Earl
Right,
don't take
nigga.
no tune-up. Earl don't take
No
no
tune,
tune-up.
no,
He
no,
take belts.
Ugas and Danny was
no
He don't take no
tune-ups,
glorified
tune-ups.
Bud.
He
tune-ups,
take
man.
No
belts.
tune-ups. I don't hear no excuses because after everything Earl's been through, he didn't take not one tune-up. So no
I
tune-ups,
hope.
Earl.
Hey, we not gonna
Bud,
grade
I
Earl
no
hope.
on no
tune-ups.
I
curves
hope.
because he went through
We
something, man. He
we
is
can
what he
call
is.
that shit the
Listen.
winter
I
storm,
hope.
nigga. We can call that shit the winter
I
storm undisputed, nigga. Let's go.
listen.
Winter
I hope
time.
Bud Crawford got. I hope Bud Crawford got some orbital bone exercises. I sure hope so.
Oh, you tripping. You
I'm
I hope
taking
he got
all
some
Them
bets
bitches
orbital
on that
bone
getting
fight.
broke.
All
exercises.
y'all. Hey,
you
loyal to
I
the
hope
serious?
game. I'm
so.
taking all bets on that Bud Spence fight. I got
Yeah,
Bud.
I'm taking all bets, nigga.
All
I'm
bets.
like blood boxing, nigga. I'm taking
I
all
hope.
bets, nigga.
I hope
And
he
if I
got some
lose,
orbital bone
hey, loyal to the
exercises.
game. If I lose, I'm paying that night, brother. You ain't gotta look for me. I'm gonna pay that
Hey,
night.
I do this. I do the same thing, bro. I'm not gonna bet.
Nigga, cash
I
out,
can't.
nigga.
And
I want all
loyal,
my
I ain't
money,
gonna bet
nigga.
if I can't pay.
loyal, loyal. And
Yeah.
since we're in agreement, because we know we look at boxing fights. What were some of the issues that let's be objective here too, because it wasn't a perfect performance. I give him an A-. What were some of the things that Earl was
I mean,
struggling
the
with?
biggest issue. Yeah. The biggest issue to me was ring rust. And
Yes,
I feel like the ring rust played a part, and I also feel like this was the heaviest I see Errol Spence come into a fight. He seemed a lot more bulkier and less agile. He had
yeah.
the power that he used to have. It returned, but the agility wasn't. The
He didn't
punches
look
to
as
me seemed to
nimble.
look
You're right. He
right.
didn't
It
look as
looks
Yeah,
he looked slower.
yeah, he did.
I
And
respected Earl Spence defense though. He
I didn't.
actually
I
kept
didn't.
Ugas from fucking him up.
But check
It's
this
some
out.
real
Check this
shit.
out, though. I saw Earl also as well loyal. I saw Earl try to push for the knockout and being a little bit defensive irresponsible, throwing himself off balance. So
he was
he'd be
wide
weighing
with a lot of
shots,
his
and
punches.
he would lunge in at times, and he can't do that against Crawford because Crawford does pick you apart with stuff like that, which I don't think he
but
will do.
I feel like that. I feel like a lot of that has to do with ring rust. And the thing that most of you guys again ain't looking at is
Earl ain't got
even
that
when he
ring
got
rust, bro. He's a
even
professional
when he
boxer,
got
bro. I don't
yeah,
believe in that, fuck.
bruh, he didn't fight for
I don't
14
believe in
months.
that.
I mean,
Nigga, you a
No, ring rust
bruh,
professional
is
he
real,
didn't
boxer,
No,
fight
bro.
nigga.
for
no.
You a
14
Hold
leader,
on.
months.
Let
bro.
Earl finish his sentence.
You
Go
might
ahead,
have
Loyal.
been
Go
out
Bruh,
ahead.
he
the
didn't
ring, nigga, but you straight.
bruh,
I'm not feeling that shit, bro. He's a
I know
professional
you don't want to
boxer.
hear
The
it,
nigga
but
got 2 belts, bro.
brother, I know you
How
don't
is
want to
he
hear it, but
fucking rusty, bro?
this is boxing. This is boxing, and things like this does happen. Ring rust is a real thing.
I wouldn't
We
even fucking give Tyson Fury that fucking advantage.
No,
And I
Tyson.
love
Oh, talk
Tyson
about
Fury.
Tyson Fury. Remember on his 3 comeback fight streak that he looked sharper each and every time before he fought Wilder for the first time. That's the thing. That's you can look at every fight he took. He became better and better. That's
It's
what
the
happens
timing.
when you
It's the
have ring
timing.
rust.
They let
The
He
him get
knocked
timing.
it
away
off.
with it. They let him get away with it. They let him get away with that. That's them niggas.
But honestly,
We
I
not
think
letting
Bud and
fucking
Spence
nobody
is the
get away with that
perfect.
shit.
But like I said, I agree. This is probably the biggest I've ever seen Earl. And I mean, Earl and Ugas look like 2 middleweights in there.
Earl
It's the
looked
perfect
strong.
styles.
He might have been a little bit messy, but he looked as strong. I
For
saw
sure.
like a real Earl Spence last night. He fucked Ugas up, bro. I was like rooting for Ugas like 1 through 4. Then that nigga Earl just took off.
But
It
Earl
was
took off
bad,
on him,
bro.
bro.
It was
He took off
bad, bro.
on him.
hey, but what's so crazy too, and what I'm proud about is like as soon as Earl got hit by that, I don't say illegal shot, but I mean he got hit by that unnecessary shot when his mouthpiece dropped and the action
But
was
Earl
supposed to
know better
stop.
too, Lennar. He
But
know better.
with that being said, I would love and when he got hit with that shot, man, it's like it woke him up. He's like turned to another gear and like made him mad, and it's like he just beat
Yo,
his ass
Ron,
after
I'm gonna
that.
fuck you up, nigga. You better bet me, nigga,
Earl
when it's
can be
time to
hurt to
fight,
the
nigga.
body though, man. I seen that last
So,
night. He
but
can
so
be
can
hurt.
Bud.
No,
I mean,
I agree.
anybody could
I
be hurt
agree.
with the
I
right shot.
agree. What
Anyone
I'm
could be
saying is
hurt.
that's the first time I ever seen Earl really show signs of being hurt to the body ever.
Okay,
You
I
see
agree.
how he almost knocked him out the ring? He almost knocked Spence out the ring, bro.
Bro,
I
Spence
gotta
wasn't
watch the
even
fight again, yo.
look, because I know you guys gonna run with this. So let's just
Loyal, address that.
Yo,
Address
dog.
let's
Hey, yo,
Loyal.
get
loyal
this
game.
out the
Let him
way.
speak. Address.
Let's
Hold on, bro.
let's
Hold on.
guys, let's
Niggas
just
talk
get
about.
let's
This
just
guy
get this
keep
out.
yelling.
Let's just get
Bro, can you
Lofty
do?
or Earl last night, nigga.
guys,
No,
let's just
just stop
guys,
yelling. Just
guys,
give him a second.
guys, let's just get this. Let's just get this.
Go ahead, Loyal. Did you leave? Oh, he timed out.
It seemed like everybody was breaking up anyway.
Yeah, but
I knocked that nigga Loyal out. I knocked that nigga Loyal out. Nigga, Spence almost went to the ropes, nigga.
It's my wife keep calling me. I'm on the phone. Look.
All right, my bad. Happy Easter, Loyal.
Here's the thing, right? Errol Spence's fault is not protecting himself at all times. Because once his mouthpiece came out, because he ain't got his real teeth in there no more, he want to make sure them teeth is protected. As soon as that shit popped up, now he did the same shit again.
But man, stop yelling, G. Bro, stop cutting people off, G. Just calm down, chill.
Just let me respond.
Let him respond, man.
Why y'all worried about this nigga
respond, man? You keep cutting this nigga off and yelling over him. Just calm down.
I mean, you can, bro.
You can respond. Talking shit, nigga.
Bro,
just let him make his point.
Let him make his point.
You better bet me.
Listen, Earl got an issue. His teeth was knocked out before he did the same thing with Danny Garcia. As soon as the mouthpiece come out, the nigga start looking at the floor because the nigga got his real teeth in his mouth no more. It was his fault for not protecting himself at all times. It was his fault for not protecting himself at all times. But he took a clean punch that he didn't even see straight on the chin. He was hurt and his legs came right back. And he didn't lose power, and he still punished Ugas. He cannot do silly shit like that against somebody like Terence Crawford or Boots Ennis because he get knocked. He wouldn't just be hurt; he might get knocked clean the fuck out.
I agree.
Like that. So I agree. Let me ask you this question,
and that's a fair point. I agree.
Let me ask you this question: Did you see any dentures come out of Errol Spence's mouth when that mouthpiece flew out?
No, of course. I mean, it sounds funny, but I mean, do I need to answer that, or I mean, like,
I'm just saying because
I have eyes like you. Did you see it?
It sound like a bunch of BS, man. You know how many boxes that?
Yo, I gotta watch this fight again.
But hold on.
How many fights? No, hold on.
Let me get the floor.
Hold on a second. How many boxes you know been launched? How many boxes you know been launched out of a car by 30 feet and had their shit knocked out too? How many boxes you know that happened?
All I'm saying,
It's always getting almost knocked out
with the mouthpiece. With the mouthpiece. I ain't trying to hear. My man been sparring this whole time, and you worried about mouthpiece flying out because of some fake teeth, man. I ain't seen no ditches.
Okay, look, hold on, Loyal. Let me get into some of this smoke real quick. I'm in I can't get. Okay, and Bo, in response to you.
All right, hey, hold on. Let me read the super chat. Rahman says the referee will call time and have the mouthpiece replaced at the first opportune moment without interfering with the immediate action. And he says it's in the rule book.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And Errol Spence was
Earl Spence
was irresponsible for doing that.
But hold on. Okay, and let me respond to that and Bo real quick. If you give me the floor. The ref actually did call stop. I'm not sure if it was a language barrier by Ugas. Maybe he could understand, but he actually said stop, but Ugas continued to punch. So that was illegal, what he did. Because the ref actually said stop, and then Ugas did not. So with that being said, hold on. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. Hold on, you get too hyped, man. Hold on.
All right, I'm a debate
in response to that, should Earl been more responsible? Yes, he should have. But from a technical standpoint, him getting hit with that shot from a shot he did not see, that's a testament to a good chin because, like we said in boxing, it's the shots you don't see that hurts the most. Facts. So he took that shot and he rebounded harder, and he's like, it was nothing ever happened. So he has good recouping abilities.
Yeah,
so
that's part of durability.
And that's part of durability.
And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all is gonna be the problem with him and Terence Crawford.
Okay, I want to rebuttal that. Okay, I want to rebuttal that. What's your name, fam? I want to rebuttal that. What's your name?
Lennar.
Lennar. Okay, this is Lennar. Okay. What I saw, because I only watched the fight once, and I was in a live stream when I watched it, and it was a party. But I saw Earl turn, and he turned away, and I felt like the ref helped him, bro. Is that true or not?
Okay, let me respond to that. First of all, as soon as Earl turned away, because the mouthpiece got knocked out, the ref did say stop. It was kind of hard to see, but he did say stop to Ugas.
Did you hear
and
him
then
say
Ugas
stop?
hold on, bro. And Ugas hold on. And Ugas threw like 2 more punches and then sent Earl to the ropes.
Lennar,
and then after that weird lapse, the ref decided to get the mouthpiece and tell Earl to go to his corner and put the mouthpiece in his mouth. But he did tell him to
Lennar,
stop.
did you hear the referee say stop? Because
I seen it. Yes.
Bro.
Go back on the fight. Go back on the fight. You can see it.
I recorded the fight. I'm letting you know he ain't saying no damn stop. As a matter of fact, Errol Spence was hurt before the mouthpiece even came out his mouth.
Here we go.
He stunned Errol Spence before the mouthpiece came out.
And no, he stunned Errol Spence, but at the same time, like we said, after the referee said stop, and then he did not stop. Then Earl looked down, and what I'm saying is, was it irresponsible of Earl not to keep his guard up? Yes, it was. But there were some factors that led to that, and it does show a great chin that he was able to take a shot he did not see and bounce back even harder.
Exactly.
That's all our point is. That's our point is that it does show a great chin to be able to take 2 flush shots like that and be able to bounce right back.
Sure didn't lose no power. When you hurt, you lose your power. Sure didn't lose none.
No, can I ask you a question? Can we all do like a fucking review of the fight this week? Can we all do a review of the fight and we'll see what we saw and like talk about it like after we watched it? Everybody watched that because I thought that was like suspect. Real talk.
Yeah. You know, I understand if you think that it's suspect because it's like, oh, Ugas is not fighting back. But what I'm saying is that fight should have been stopped at that point to put the mouthpiece in, correct? If you know, the mouthpiece has to come in.
You know why? Lennar, you know why it's suspect? Because these guys are opportunists for anything bad to happen.
Very true.
That's why it's suspect to them.
You know what's funny, yo? Y'all dudes sound like
the nigga didn't get hurt. The nigga wasn't getting nobody penalized. Nobody hit him behind the head. None. The nigga just
hold on, bro. Yo, y'all dudes sound like y'all could be writing hard movies like Stephen King, man, because dudes be saying dentures flying, motherfuckers be spraying referee and shit.
This dude,
come on, man.
This dude,
y'all dudes be making up some crazy ass stories.
You know what this dude is like right here?
I was putting
He's talking about old co-host Rico. They like to say fancy shit.
Motherfuckers like, yo, that motherfucker lost his teeth, yo.
Y'all like to say a lot of catchy shit that have no factual substance behind it for a punch.
Somebody should make a meme. Somebody should make a meme and have some dentures come flying out of Errol Spence's mouth.
Hey, guess what? He still knocked him out in 10. He still knocked him out in 10 rounds.
Hey, Bold. And check this out too. So, and Laurel, answer this question. Errol Spence had a slightly easier time with Ugas coming off a 16-month layoff than Bud had with Sean Porter.
That's true.
That's true.
No one was telling Errol Spence he was down going into the 10th
Terence Crawford had an easier time with Sean Porter than Errol Spence did.
No one was telling Errol Spence. No one was telling Errol Spence he was down going into the 10th round.
That was an Errol Spence.
That shit went to a split decision with Errol Spence. Errol Spence got the knockdown. That shit still went to a split decision.
Look, man, listen, that's all good. Errol Spence was drinking, partying, and fucking around back then. That ain't the same guy. So if y'all want to stay on that, y'all can stay on that.
Should that have been a knockdown?
This nigga Bud landed 20 punches in 5 rounds against Sean Porter. He was taking a knockdown.
No, that should not have been a knockdown. That should not have been a knockdown. No, it shouldn't have been.
That's Lennar.
That should not have been a knockdown.
That should have been a knockdown.
No, it should not have been a knockdown.
I know y'all gonna nitpick at anything, but
that should not have been a knockdown.
The fact of the matter is, y'all niggas been wrong for 4 years.
Y'all be trying to credit Cavalier Oscars for a fucking
Y'all
knockdown.
niggas been
But
wrong
fucking
for
Earl
4
Spence
years.
flew out the ring and shit. Y'all gonna say no, that's not a knockdown.
Y'all
It wasn't
niggas
a
been,
knockdown, bro.
y'all just mad because y'all been wrong for 4 years. Y'all said it
Royal,
wasn't
I'm
gonna
betting
call
your
him
ass.
out.
yeah,
The
It
next
hey,
wasn't
fight,
gonna
nigga,
happen.
me and you, nigga, a mano y mano, nigga. Let's go.
it's
Y'all,
just crazy. It's crazy
Hey,
because, bro,
hey,
you gonna have to eat, bro.
gotta
You
get
gonna have to
ready to
eat
shut
your
it down.
crow,
50 or
brother.
100, nigga. 50 or
You
100.
gonna have to,
Let's
you
go.
gonna have to eat your crow, bro.
y'all
What did
just
we
mad.
say?
I love this boxing shit, nigga. Let's go.
Hey, y'all, I gotta shut it down, man. It's been a good stream, man. We gonna do this again soon. I want to thank everybody on the panel, man. We gotta learn how to get some
Appreciate you.
order up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate you.
Can we say our final thoughts, Bushido?
Yep. What up?
Can we share our final thoughts?
Yeah. Give your final thoughts, y'all. Give your final thoughts before we head up out of here.
Okay, bro. I want to say this to you. Regardless how the fight went down, Errol Spence won and got the job done and called out Terence Crawford. And I was telling you this on different panels, and I want to say that I told you so. And so all these people that were saying that Earl wasn't going to call him out and that he was scared, he was never scared. He just had a game plan. And the apology is going to have to be made to the Errol Spence Jr. fan base because we took this abuse for like 4 or 5 years straight.
Man,
So we took this abuse for 4 or 5 years straight. So all I'm going to say is
Stop
this.
the cat for real, bro.
So just
Stop the cat.
check this out. I want y'all to eat y'all crow. And just so you know what, maybe I didn't like the game plan, but at least Earl, he really was the truth because he stuck to what he said he was going to do. That's all I have to say.
All right, man.
Goodness.
All right.
Man.
Anything else, Bo? You got anything?
Yeah. I mean, I'm just happy that these Errol Spence diehard fans finally got the guts to all of a sudden want his guy to fight Terence Crawford after 4 years, because we know they've been making excuses the whole time. They've been building barriers and shit, moving the goalposts and everything, man. So when this fight happened, I don't want to hear no goddamn excuse. I don't want to hear nothing about no accident. I don't want to hear nothing about no eye detached retina. When Bud whipped that ass, I want y'all to come back on all these damn panels and eat crow. Peace out. Thanks for having me on, Bushido, man. Nice panel.
All right, salute, bro. Thank you, man. And yeah, you guys, that's it, man. Yeah, Errol Spence Jr. beat Dennis Ugas. In my opinion, Crawford's gonna be a totally different fight. It's gonna be a totally different fight. It's gonna be a totally different fight, man. You know, Dennis Ugas. You see what a lot of the people are saying. He was a punching bag. He was just standing there. You know, it's gonna be a totally different fight with Terence Crawford. However, Errol Spence Jr. looked as strong. He didn't look as agile as before, but yeah, man, I'm excited. We're gonna talk about it as the weeks go by. It's gonna be a big fight for boxing, and it's probably gonna be a lot of trash talk going back and forth between Crawford fans, Spence fans, and Terence Crawford, Errol Spence themselves, man. But yeah, man, thank you everybody for stopping in, man. Hit that like button for your boy, man. Subscribe. Peace out.